All right. We had a bit of a StreamYard glitch there, so you guys didn't get the intro beforehand. So we'll do it now. That's why that was a little weird. The intro was strange, you guys. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened with that. StreamYard's been doing its thing lately, but it is what it is. So anyway, welcome in everybody. And again, here we go. Back to it. Today's show, guys, is we're doing kind of a wide open discussion, and it's based on everything going on in the true crime world, all the stuff that we've looked into, so on and so forth. Tonight is Paranormal Friday night. We will be jumping into, as we do on Friday evenings, typically, we're going to be looking into the true story behind the movie Fire in the Sky, which is the Travis Walton story. It's about alien abduction. And anything that may center around that if we spread it out a little bit. So that's what tonight's all about. But today, right here, right now, with all of y'all, we are going to be looking into Sebastian Rogers and some other things that are going on in the true crime world. Whatever we touch on, we touch on. Whatever we don't get to. Brian Kohberger, Sebastian Rogers, Madeline Soto, anything we talk about, we're talking about it. I have some ideals that I like to throw out there and some feelings of some thoughts that I've been having. As you all know, I've been looking at Sebastian's case again, pretty hardcore. No thank you to Chris from Mob Crew, who has done some amazing work on Sebastian's case. I just can't explain how grateful I am for everything he's done. So that's what the plan is for today. We'll see what happens, and I appreciate you all being here for it. Please make sure to hit that like button, guys, when you come through that door. Even if you're just out there in the hallway, kind of peeking around the corner and watching and not in the chat, I still love you. I still appreciate you, and I still need you to hit that button if you can, and share this out to everybody and anybody you think would want to jump in here with us. I appreciate that very much. Come on. Let's get this thing a rolling. It looks like, let's see who we got in here with us right now. I know there's more people coming, but let's see for right now. It looks like Green-Eyed Monster's in the house. Welcome back. Lucia Williamson, great to see you. Don't Die 509 in the house. Haven't seen you in a minute, my dear, and it's wonderful to see you here. Thank you for joining us. Arctic Box, my brother, good to have you here. Miss Cassie, hello. Let's see, Alicia J, welcome back to you. Cynthia, IGG Ancestry, welcome. Good to have you here. And thank you for that, Cynthia. Guys, share this out on all your social media accounts, if you will. SRB, welcome back to you. Mocha's in the house. Good to have you. Good to see ya. Taylor with Stitchin' Bitchin'. Bitchin' less. Talk about it. I think I said that right. Anyway, thank you for joining us, Taylor. It's great to have you here. Excuse me. Let's see. My Doodlebug's in the house as always. Okay. Miss Sandy Rose, thank you for joining us today, as always. JC Ann, good to see you, dear. Thank you for being here. Mr. Brian Guy in the house. Good to see you, Brian's Ramblings. Thank you for being here, as always. Again, Arctic Fox True Crime. It's great to see you back in here, brother. As always, appreciate you. That goes for everybody that's involved in the Blue Crew. I couldn't do this without you guys. Would not, could not, nor should not ever try to do it without you, because it just wouldn't work for me. Sorry. Appreciate you being here, all of you, and I appreciate everything you guys do for me and for this channel. You guys are amazing, and I love you all. That's a fact. Let's see here. Moving forward. I don't think I missed anybody. If I did, I'm sorry. I will catch up with you. That is a promise. Alicia J, I did see her. Let's see. Let me go down the bottom here and make sure I got everybody. Charlie, good afternoon. Good to see you. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining us today. It is wonderful to see you. Don't dive. It's been a while, and I appreciate you being here. Hope you're doing wonderful. Come on in, everybody. Please hit that like button if you will, and please share this out. FarQ in the house. Welcome back, FarQ. Great to see you. Became a new member again. Welcome back to the sauce, FarQ. It's great to have you here, and I appreciate you very much for that. Shauna Martz, welcome back. Good to see you today. Guys, we're adding some new spicy meatballs into that sauce today, I see. Congratulations, Miss JC. I hope that nobody tries to take it from you again. Good God, this poor lady has had so many problems with her vehicles. It's ridiculous. Congrats, though, JC. It's great to have you here, and I'm happy to see all that stuff's happening for you. Warning label: Miss Nina's in the house. Good to see you, Miss Nina. We're gonna be putting something together here soon, too. By the way, that Miss Nina has brought to my attention, and oh goodness gracious, guys, you're gonna want to see this. So that's coming down the road here. Hopefully, this coming week. I think once I get through all this other stuff, we got some other stuff coming too. So I do appreciate, by the way. I know I didn't ask you guys to do it, and I know I won't ask you guys to do it, but I appreciate you guys sending me the things you're sending me because I really want to make awareness for it, okay? You don't have to send these things. I hope you guys know that, but it is so very much appreciated, and I will do everything I can to make noise about some of this stuff. I really will. So thank you, Nina, and all of you that do send me things. It is so very much appreciated. God bless. Arctic, I see you here, brother. I hope you're feeling good today. I hope everything's getting back to the norm for you. And it's great to have you back, bro. Mystic Butterfly, yes, wonderful. Good to see you. Doodle always puts out great stuff. Doodle put out a great video last night, guys. Please make sure you check out Doodle's channel. Miss Sherry's in the house. Wisdom Speaks. Good to see ya. Thank you for being here today. We could drop Doodle's link in the chat as well. Thank you, Miss Cassie. I appreciate that. Thank you to anybody and everybody that happens to choose to support this channel by donating to these links. Guys, we don't ever expect it. You don't ever have to do it. Please know that, but we do greatly appreciate it. It helps keep me going and doing what I'm doing. So thank you once again for that. God bless. We appreciate that so very much. Let's see. I can't wait either, Miss Nina. Kelly Bird, hello and welcome back. Good to see you today. Great to have you here. Well, FarQ, it looks like FarQ has been a member for 2 months now. That's awesome. That's weird the way that it shows up that way, but that's awesome. Thank you so much, FarQ, for being part of this community. We do appreciate you. We love you, and we're grateful that you're here. That's all. And anybody else that you think might be interested in coming on into this community to hang out with the rest of us, please let them know where we're at. Give them a link, guys. Let them know what we do over here. Let them come over and check it out for themselves and see what they think, because I'm telling you, we got plenty of room for plenty of good people. Thank you, Miss Sherry, for that as well. Appreciate you very much. Doodle did a great job. She always does. And yes, Doodle, by the way, to answer your question earlier, I am subscribed to you, hon. I have been for a long time. Just so you know. That wouldn't make any sense if I wasn't. I don't think now, would it? Yeah, I am definitely subscribed. I just double checked to make sure. She did a great video last night. Very much. So I'm looking at the other side of it too. She does great stuff, period. Miss Sherry does as well. We got quite a few creators that are in here that are doing great stuff. Leslie and Billy in the house. Good to see you today. Again, please hit that like button on your way through the door. It's right there to your right. Just look over real quick. Kick it, punch it, elbow it, lick it, whatever you got to do, but hit it if you can. Kim North of 54th. Hello and welcome. Happy Friday. Great to see you today. And again, yes, if you want to be one of the cool kids, like Alicia says, get you guys some of this True Crime Cafe merchandise. We got one of these awesome shirts here. If you can see it, they're pretty cool. We got a whole bunch of stuff in there based on that link. If you click on it, a bunch of people asking me, where's the merch? Where's the merch? Where's the merch? We got the merch now. Doodle makes sure that she takes care of all of that stuff. We even have luggage in there now, guys. It's crazy. Anything you can pretty much ask for is in there. The only thing I can't seem to find is we have mouse pads and stuff like that. I'm looking for one of those mats. I didn't see it in there, but either way. Brandy B, the OG in the house. Welcome back. Good to see you. Good to have you here, dear. Hope everything's going well for you as well. Arctic, welcome back to the sauce, my friend. Great to have you here, brother. Great to see you today. They have the mats, Doodle, but they're not big enough. Like my kids play card games and they have these mats that are like, they look like a placemat size, basically. And they're made out of the same thing that mouse pads are. And they didn't have them in there. It's not it's not, anything that's probably normal something to have in there. Maybe I didn't look at it right. There's 3 different sizes. I'll have to go back and look then. Thank you, Doodle. Come on in, everybody. Get comfortable. Share it out. Hit that button if you will. And welcome back, Arctic, to the sauce. We appreciate you, bro. We missed you. You guys can always get you one of them coffee mugs, like the one Scooby's sitting in right here. They're pretty cool. We got a bunch of different variations of these. We have the ones that change colors based on the hot and cold. We got the taller ones, the smaller ones. Double-sided. You can get them personalized. You can do all sorts of things with this stuff. So, sorry, Scooby's hanging out in that one. Check it out, if you will. Come on, come on. Come on in, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great day, because I am. And it's great to see you all. Hopefully everything goes right. And the secondary stream tonight shouldn't be too late. Hopefully everything works out well for that. I can't wait to do that as well. We got 48 peeps in here with 31 likes, like Miss Sherry just said. Let's make it match, guys. It's free. It doesn't cost a dime. It only takes one little click, and it's over. Come on, come on. Come on in. Thank you, Sherry, very much. Appreciate you. There's nothing wrong with your name. I like it. Michael 007. Hello. Great to see our friends from the UK tuning in. Thank you, Michael, for joining us today. Great to see you, my friend. It's been a minute. I hope you're doing well. We love our friends in the UK. That's a fact. Miss Paula's in the house. I didn't even get to question it. Hello. Happy Friday, Paula. Great to see you today. Leslie Petrulakis, thank you for joining us today. It's great to see you too. Number 32. All right. I like how you guys do that now. That's pretty wild. I need car rehab. I bought brand new car. Uh-oh. I need car rehab. I just bought brand new Kia. It was close to buying a new Mustang. Oh, wow. Sounds like it, dude. Whoa. Cars, and more cars. Wonderful to see you today, Michael. I hope you're having a great day. Girls in the house. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. We got to work on getting Paula in there too, Doodle. I tried that the other day and it didn't work. I don't know why. I don't do well with that. Come on in, everybody. It's a hot one still here. I'm hoping that this heat stuff goes away soon and that the fall weather starts to jump in here. What's the weather like over in the UK today, Michael? I think we have an Aussie in here too, don't we? Where'd she go? Where did she go? I know I seen her earlier. My voice. What's the matter, Kelly? Hold on. Let me see. Did I miss something here? Thank you, Cassie. Maybe not. I think Farqu's in Australia, I think. Let's make it match. Thank you, Miss SRB. Oh my God. When you find that, Cherry, you please let me know. Mr. Shows Dago, sometimes you are not UK. No, I know, Michael. I'm trying to get back up to the earlier time during the day so you guys can catch it from over there as well. Hot enough to fry eggs inside the chicken here in Arkansas. I bet it is. Yeah, it's pretty hot. You guys have no idea. I'm excited about fall. Yes, you do. I've told you. My voice keeps you coming back. Well, that's awesome, Kelly. Thank you for that. That's lovely. I appreciate that very much. And you guys keep me coming back. So that's what matters. Hello and good Friday to you guys. Alabama. Yes, I've heard that. The mind boggles. Hello. Yes, guys, I'm trying to set a schedule for the early afternoons. My goal is to hit around 1 or 2 if I can get everything done. That way, the people that are in the UK can hit, right away. And the Aussies that we have that come in here, I have a few. They're typically about 12 hours off from us. So if I go 1 in the afternoon, it's 1 in the morning for them. So it's the late nighters over there, sure. Now my late night shows, if I go 8 at night, it's 8 in the morning. So I'm trying to make it work out for everybody the best I can. I promise you guys. I've been talking about doing that, Andy, about the morning show, the early morning show. If I can get my lazy butt out of bed. The problem is I stay up so late doing the late show. I know, Michael. I know that. And we love you too, sir. We do. Very much so. See, I knew Barkey was in an Aussie. It's 5:47 a.m. Okay. So you're a little bit off. I have a friend that lives in Perth, and he was exactly 12 hours off from me. Mm-hmm. Current events and coffee with Dago and whoever joins me for that. We'll see. I got to get myself back into my routine. That's the problem. Is I've been doing these late things, staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, then I can't drive myself to get up until 10. That's too late for me. I don't want to do that. I want to do like a 9 a.m. Eastern time type show if I do that. And I'm working on it. I promise I'm working on it, Andy. Yes, we know. We know Doodle is Michael's American wifey. Everybody is good, doing good, Michael. I hope the same for you, my friend. I do. And I appreciate that so very much. I know, Lisa. I know. I'm trying to make the late shows, if I do them, no later than 8 p.m. That's my goal. Okay. 8 or 9 at the latest. Well, you got to get, how would you not be awake having 2 little ones? That's crazy. I wish I could go to bed at 9, Arctic. I can't get to sleep. My mind is like all over the damn place. But if I could get to bed by 9, because that's when my wife goes to bed, because she gets up at usually about 3 for work. So that'd be, if I can get myself into a schedule like that, that would be great. I'm sorry to hear that, Michael. I'm glad you're okay, but you got to take care of yourself, sir. We got to keep you around as long as we can, my friend. We got to have our UK connections in here. Moni in the middle, another one. Hello, Moni. I think Moni's in the UK as well. I had a few of you guys in here not too long ago, maybe about 6 months ago, where I called it the British Invasion. I had a bunch of you guys in here on panel with me, and everybody but me was from the UK. It was kind of cool. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I think Moni is UK as well. Whereabouts in the UK are you, Moni? Yes, absolutely. I think we have a great union here, the UK and the USA together. I agree. Along with Australia. I love the Aussie guys. I do. We got a good friend in Thailand as well. Jesse, he's over there in Thailand. He follows us as well. Yeah, I was looking in the mirror today, guys, when I was showering. I was actually on the phone with Doodle when I was getting ready to shave. When I started shaving, talking to her. And I was like, do I start yet? Because I usually start at the beginning of September to grow this all out. I'm like, no, maybe not. It's still kind of hot. So we're going to be next month. I'll probably start it out. Southeast UK. Okay. Gotcha, Moni. Got you, Charlie. No problem. No problem. Yeah. I'm trying to set a schedule where I can run every day like I do around 1 to 2 p.m. Run that for a few hours, a couple hours like we do. Pop back on at night if I'm going to do an evening one around 8 or 9 and no later than. And then what I'd like to do is to try out this morning coffee and current events type scenario. I've been thinking about it. We'll see what happens. Miss Andy might be joining me on that. Welcome, Groot. depending on how she feels about it. If she can get up out of bed, she probably up way earlier than me. So that way, if I'm done early enough, then I'll have no problem getting up. The day we were talking about Kev growing his neck beard that night. Yeah, I was looking at that down here. I had a little bit of that going on too. I can't handle that stuff. It drives me nuts. Moni says that she's near Eastbourne, where the pensioners go and live. Okay. Are you familiar with that area, Michael? By the way, Michael 007 is another UKer that comes in here. He's been in here for a long time. He's a part of the family here. Paula's all about the morning show, too. Groot, good to see you. What the hell, Doodle, did you just say? Nothing makes my kitty purr like a chubby man with a face full of fur. Well, I'm glad I know that, Doodle. Thank you so much. Michael, I don't know. Michael doesn't look chubby, but hey, you might have to eat a little bit more, Michael. Down south from you. Okay, got you. And just clean the damn bathroom. Well, where the sink, the yak, what the hell were they called? Yak shavings in the sink from, what was that show? It was a cartoon from back in my day in the 90s. Ren and Stimpy, the yak shavings. Yes, you got to feed him some cake, Doodles. That way he can gain a little bit of weight. He's already got the beard. You guys are good to go then. And let Paula handle it because she's the matchmaker in here. Oh my God, Miss Taylor. I do not. And we can talk about that too. I don't care. We can talk about it all today. I don't care. Drama or not, it is what it is. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Doesn't matter. I don't think so. They wouldn't. No, hell no, Taylor. No. Hell no. She's not. She's too. What's the word I'm looking for? She's too loose to be able to work for somebody like that. If you know what I'm saying. She's got a bad background. She's got a big mouth. They wouldn't want somebody like that around. That's just my opinion. She could be. I could be wrong, but I just don't think so. Yeah, that's exactly what I think right there. She needs a damn straitjacket, period. That's a fact. Loose lips sink ships. Amen to that one. And I can't imagine the FBI throwing her into anything. She's volatile. Thank you, Alicia. I'm going to be at Bullhorn Betty Court on September 10th. All right. Miss Zelda's in the house. Hello. Welcome, Miss Zelda. Good to see you today. I hope you're having a great day and you're not working too hard. T2014 back around. Good to see you. And there's our Kells. Hello, Miss Kells. Oh, it's all coming out. Look at that. Miss Sherry just gifted a membership out to Aaron Estes Park. Welcome to the cafe, Aaron. And thank you, Miss Sherry, for that. We got another meatball in the sauce. We got 4 meatballs tossed up so far. Miss Zelda has been a member for 18 months, going on forever. Thank you, Miss Zelda, for that. We appreciate you very much. It is great to see you today, Miss Kells. Find out or F around and find out. Well, fuck it. Fuck around and find out. Sorry. Anyway, Miss Christy, hello to you. Good to see you today. It's great to have you here. Let me see here. Looks like we got everybody jumping in. Mom is doing okay, Michael. She's doing great. Thank you for that. It is great. Hope everybody, I'm having a good day today. I'm in a good mood. It's great to see you guys. Woohoo. Good. Thank you for joining us, Christy. I appreciate you. Love it here. And we love that you love it here. And we love having you here. So thank you for that, Miss Christy. We got 65 amazing peeps in here, guys. 45 likes, please, if we can. Let's make that match and get this up in that algorithm. Make YouTube happy. That makes us all happy. Come on. Let me see. Thank you again, Miss Sherry, for that membership. And for gifting that out. God bless. Appreciate you so much for that, ma'am. And everything you do here. Anyone see the interview with Gunsel? I have not. Where was that located at, Miss Moni? We can check that out today as well. I didn't get to finish up the rest of the hearing yesterday, guys, for Kohberger because it was so long. I did look at it. There's nothing more in there really we didn't miss, okay? and I have my feelings about it. We may go back and review that. Maybe not today because that's a lot. We're going to talk about some other things, though, that are really on my mind that I want to talk about. Some ideals, some theories, some thoughts, some feelings. Miss Delta just gifted a membership. That's awesome. Looks like a woke up in 84 got it. Congrats, 84. If you're out there, it's great to have you here. Great to see you today. Thank you for joining in with us. We appreciate you very much. I know I'm a little hyper, guys. It's this. And I almost killed myself in the shower today. That wasn't a good scenario, but I'm here, so we're good. All right, guys. If you're trying to hook up and get a membership here and you're having troubles because you have an iPhone, click on that link right there. Miss Alicia just threw up. It's the best way to do it, and it definitely works. So thank you for that. Bullhorn Betty is ready for a full titty rotation. Oh my God. An Arctic Fox coming out of the gate with his always knowing what to say and when to say it comments. I love you, bro. I do. I really do. It's hilarious. Jesus Christ. I just said, I call her lopsided Lucy, but that's me, It is what it is. Yes, we're doing it. We're doing it tonight, Michael. I'm sorry, brother. A lot of people voted that they'd like to have him at night because it's a little creepier, but we'll see what we can do, Michael, to try to bring him back to you during the day for sure. Thank you, Arctic, for your comment. As always, I love it. I love it. Excuse me. Yes, always coming in hot. Arctic is amazing. We love it. He breaks the monotony up with everything he says, you guys. He always says it at the right time, too. Mind boggles it. Rolling on the floor. Yes. Great stuff. You got decaf coffee. Good Lord. What's the point, Charlie? What is the point? Thank you again, Ms. Zelda, for that. And thank you to anybody that were to purchase anything via this wish list. God bless. It's typically stuff on here that helps with what I'm doing here. It's part of the equipment stuff. I do throw coffee in there, whatever. But thank you to anybody of you, any one of you guys that were to send anything this way from it. God bless. We do appreciate it very much. We don't expect anything from you guys, but it is very much appreciated. So thank you. Oh, it's okay. No worry about it, Lisa. That's spelled so many different ways. I've had people call him Hayden, Hayden. Yeah. I've had people spell it with a K. I've had people call him Raiden from Mortal Kombat. And I'm like, no, my child's not from Mortal Kombat. His name's Caden. I wish I was. He's getting ready for his football game tonight. I know everybody says he looks just like me. Everybody, including his friends. Robert Bell in the house. Good to see you, sir.
Hey, Christy.
My son's name is spelled with a K. We thought about doing it with a K. What's up with your hair, bro?
I don't know. I'm rocking that American Psycho look.
Yeah, you are. Where are you guys playing at tonight?
Jackson Milton.
Okay.
I hope we beat them.
You should be able to. They don't even have a football team.
Their quarterback sucks.
I said hello to you twice, Brandy. You must not have your thing going on where you can hear me because I said hello to you twice.
Footy
to
match.
Brandy B, the OG.
She calls it footy match. Oh, it's called Footy Match in Australia. That's like cool.
We got Michael from the UK. We got Moni in the middle from the UK. We got Farcus from down under in Australia, like David.
My God.
What's up, Robert Bale? Good to see you. Did you hear me that time? Good. Yeah, they're not. He doesn't play football. He plays in the marching band for the games.
Still, all the coaches come at me because
Yeah, the coaches keep trying to get him to. Yes, he's lost a lot of weight, Doodle. He's grown too again.
I'm gonna show him.
No,
Trying to stand off to the side a little.
he's lost a lot of weight. That shirt that he's wearing used to be kind of tight on him, and it's hanging off of him now. He's also grown another foot, I swear.
I'm 5'10".
Yeah, he's up to 5'10" now, so he's got me blown away as well. It doesn't take much to do that. Yeah, he's a saxophone player in the marching band, you guys. So, which shouldn't surprise most of you that know his musical. Yeah, his face thinned out a lot.
I shaved today.
That has nothing to do with your face thinning out, weirdo.
No, I mean I was poofy today. Like my whole face looked poofy.
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 Like your hair?
Poofy.
You need your hat too,
I have
or one of your hats.
my hat's in there.
Come on, guys, hit those likes if we can. We're at 50 likes. Let's get them up. We got 71 of you guys in here. Let's get this in the algorithm. We're gonna get started here in a minute. Sorry about the ads, you guys. I don't control that. Cassie said good night tonight, Caden. Good luck.
Good luck.
Not
Thank
good
you,
night.
Cassie.
By the way, Cassie is SRB's daughter. SRB is the other mod in here. You've seen her before.
Oh, I love SRB. She's amazing.
Cassie's the younger one, the wild one. I'm always telling her to listen to her mother.
I do that to my friends.
Mm-hmm.
All the ones that
Yeah, everybody says he's my mini as well, Doodle. If you could see a picture of my grandfather, you would be able to tell. Like that's who we look like. My grandfather and my mother. Your grandson plays drums. That's awesome, Kelly. You have to join us one of these nights. For those of you that haven't yet, when we do our music streams, we do that where Caden will join me. We'll jump in here, play some music. He does some singing, sometimes playing his guitar, a little bit of everything. It really was a very long hearing yesterday, Robert. It was putting a lot of people to sleep. So Miss Zelda says, we love you.
Love you too.
And SRB says, hey, Caden.
Hey, SRB.
Yes, I do have just a few wild mods. My blue crew is definitely got a name for a reason. They give me the blues occasionally, but I love every one of them. There you go. Don't dive. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's good to hear, Kels. I hope he enjoys it. Music makes the world go round as far as I'm concerned. It's one of the best things out there. It really is. It makes everything amazing.
It's like therapy.
It's daddy with balls, baby meatball. Yes, Brian. This is baby meatball behind me.
Oh, it's daddy with oh my God.
That's Brian.
Figured.
I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. Let me see who else we got in here before we get. He's a younger meatball. Yes.
Yeah.
He's a better looking meatball. I'll put it that way. So I had learned an instrument, and I'm telling you, music is it just makes so many things better. Period.
I'm in the church choir.
Yeah, he just joined up with the church choir, and you guys know they loved him because you guys heard his voice. You know how he can sing.
I
So
made the pastor cry.
Ralph?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because I was singing well. One of them I made cry. I think it was Pastor Ralph. But I'm studying to be a pastor, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah, this is what he has decided he wants to do. He wants to be a pastor in the church that they go to. So
it's a Christianity church.
I think I think it's a good thing, and I'm proud of him. So
it's really fun. We do a lot of fun things.
Let me see who just popped in here. Callie Dime in the house. Hello. I love it. Do it. Yes. I love it. I swear to God, doesn't she look like an actress? I can't think of who it is.
Ryan Reynolds' wife.
Who's Ryan Reynolds' wife?
Blake something.
That's who you think she looks like?
Yeah, and a mix of like Brittany, my cousin.
She does look like Brittany, but she reminds me of an actress. I can't think of who.
Very pretty.
I can't. I think you look like an actress, Callie. I can't think of who it is. Blake Lively? Is that her name?
Yeah, that's it. Blake Lively.
Okay. Yes, we think you look like Blake Lively, Callie. I don't know if you've ever been told that.
Like Blake Lively with a hint of Jennifer Aniston.
There's no Jennifer Aniston. She's blonde, bro.
What do you think that is? Blonde.
I don't think she looks like Jennifer. She's got the rounder eyes. Anyway, that's what I've been trying to think of for days now. Every time I see you come in here, Callie. Oh, wait a minute. I've gotten Reese Witherspoon and Heather Graham. I don't think Heather Graham at all. Maybe Reese Witherspoon. You have the round face, but I don't know. Either way, I think the Blake Lively is more fitting either. But still, thank you for joining us today, Callie. We appreciate you.
I got told today that I look like Christian Bale.
What?
Yeah.
Christian Bale.
I don't know. What?
I don't see that one, but okay.
I looked at him weird.
I think it's awesome to be a pastor. There's something so neat. Yes, I agree, JC.
It's very needed these days.
And I think he'd be amazing at it. So
these new kids need a direction, and I want to give it to them.
I'm starting to look like Granny Clampett. Oh, stop, Paula. I saw you yesterday or day before when you tried to jump up here. No, you do not. You're a very lovely looking lady. So stop putting yourself down. Caden, what do you think of Miley Cyrus vocally?
Oh, well,
Nobody wants to know your weird
I had
urges.
a crush on her when she was Hannah Montana, but she sounds like
her voice. Do you like her voice?
She sounds like a dying zombie. No, well, oh, her voice, singing voice, yes. But when she talks, she sounds scary.
Yeah, I get with that. There's another UKer, Mark and Betty in the house.
What's her?
Hello, hello.
I think Betting something.
What?
Natasha
Bedingfield.
Yeah, saying these words. Oh, that's so. I had a crush on her.
Yes, you look just like Andy Rose. That's right. Everybody in this community are just very handsome, very lovely people. Everybody in here, inside and out. Don't forget that, folks. That's what makes you all so very amazing. All right, guys, it's time to get moving. 70 peeps in here, 54 likes. Let's make that match and let's do something. Jack Black and Danny DeVito. That's a hell of a combo, Arctic.
Me?
No, him. Somebody told him that. Okay, live action. I've been told when I was in high school, I was told I looked like Joey McIntyre from the New Kids on the Block. Never saw that. As I got older, I was told I looked like Uncle Kracker, the singer. I still don't ever see that. I was told I looked like somebody else too, and I can't think of who the hell it was. Oh, Grumpy Cat. That was told to me too, that I look like Grumpy Cat. I'm like, gee, thanks, guys. Live action Hercules with Danny DeVito. It's okay. I'm short too, Arctic. Don't worry about it, brother. You can see what, Taylor? Jelly roll. Jelly roll. Good God almighty, I'm not that big. Look like Rose McGowan. Yes, you do a little bit, Andy. I can see that. I can see Grumpy Cat. Well, when I have my resting bitch face going, yes, I can see because of the dark circles under my eyes and all that fun stuff. I went to school with a guy that looked like Dago. Chris Santinello was his name. That's definitely not me. He is Italian, though, so that makes sense. Arctic, wait, Danny DeVito? No, I don't think you look like DeVito either, Arctic. No. I was told I looked like Robert De Niro. That one was a little off-putting to me. I'm thinking like, Jesus Christ, are you serious? Jeffrey! Jeff's in the house. I am definitely... Don't you, Jeff, listen, we just sorted out our differences. We just sorted out our differences a few months ago, my friend. And I've always liked you, okay? But I don't know if I can get past this now. I hate Tom Cruise. I don't like the word hate. I absolutely detest Tom Cruise, so please don't ever put that near me. Everybody, yes, yes, yes. Jeff, what the hell, dude? What did I do to you? Tom Cruise. I cannot stand Tom Cruise or anything about that man.
I know Miss Simone.
No way. I did. The original Morticia Adams, so pretty. Miss Sherry looks just like her. I can't think of her real name. I had her real name at one point.
Start with a J, I think.
Whoever the actress was that played the original Morticia Adams in the Addams Family from the 60s or the 50s, that is exactly who Miss Sherry looks like, you guys. A washed up dish rag. Who said, Brandy, shut up. No, you don't. You're a very lovely lady. I never liked Tom Cruise. No. I've never liked him ever. Yeah, see, I know it's true because I'm also spitting. Of course, we're both handsome, but come on, we could pick somebody besides Tom Cruise. Let's go with what is his name? The guy that was in 21 Jump Street or 22 Jump Street. You could have said like Johnny Depp or something, not Tom Cruise. Dragonfly, what's going on? Sarah Boone update. Completely agree with you. Not yet, but we can. Yeah, Channing Tatum. There we go. I'll be Channing. I'm a guy, and I think that's a hot looking dude. I'm being honest with you, and I'm straight. You know, I have no qualms with that, but I can call it out as I see it. Channing Tatum is a very attractive man. Period.
I love him.
I would have no qualms with being that dude. None at all. Kaden just made a statement that I have to agree with too, that there's not one man in here that can't say that they wouldn't fall for Ryan Reynolds. I like Ryan Reynolds myself right now. I think he's awesome.
Very sexy.
Too pretty. Brian said he's too pretty. Ryan Reynolds, how about him, Brian? Come on now.
How about Hugh Jackman? Oh my god.
Hugh Jackman is another one. That's a man's man right there.
Sexiest man alive.
Channing's new movie. It looks really good. He's supposed to be playing what's the superhero, Kaden? Gambit. If you guys are ever involved in the Marvel universe or any of that stuff, he's supposed to be playing Gambit.
He's gonna be playing Gambit.
That he just played in that new movie. And he looks pretty good at it, Ryan Reynolds. Ryan is amazing. He's just a good person in general. He's hilarious. He can act serious. He played in the Amityville. He did really good in that. Ryan Reynolds is playing Gambit, Cassie. Joaquin Phoenix. See, I don't know about him. He weirds me out.
He's a great Joker.
He does play a good Joker, and it scares me because it seems really natural.
Harley Quinn now.
Lady Gaga's playing Harley Quinn.
For the second movie of Joker.
That's fitting.
Gonna be.
All right, Cassie knows who Gambit is. All right. Keeping a close watch. What are we talking about there, Arctic? Oh, yeah. We're watching the lights. We're going to talk about that today. Good God, Doodle. I wish I had Dolly Parton and she had a feather in her ass. We would, oh, for God's sakes, Doodlebug. I can't with you sometimes. Can't watch the new Amityville. It's a little bit darker than the first one, I think. Miss Paula, thank you so much for that. Mark says I'd make a good James Bond. I don't know about that one, but I got to get my teeth fixed first, then we can go there. Storms tonight. Oh boy. There goes the internet stuff. I hope it passes me by. All right, guys. Let's start talking about some true crime. Thank you again, Miss Paula. God bless. And thank you to anybody that does donate to these. You guys are amazing. Guys, I don't want you to think you ever have to, because you don't. We do appreciate it, though, because it does keep StreamYard and all this other stuff going, and it is so very much appreciated. So thank you for that, but don't feel like you have to, ever. I'm sorry to hear that, Alicia. Mittens for Kittens in the house. Darker than the first one. I had a nightmare. I think it was a little bit more descriptive, Mittens, than the first one, and it was a little bit more. The effects were able to play on it a little bit more. I like the first one originally. You know, the one that had James Brolin in it. That one was definitely a creeped out movie. I love those movies though. Speaking of movies, guys, Truth Seekers in the house. Tonight we are for Paranormal Friday night. Crazy Linda, welcome. Good to see you. Truth Seeker. Let me see. Did I miss somebody else up here? I don't think so. Come on in, everybody. I appreciate you guys joining us for today. The topic today, Michael, is everything true crime that's been going on in this community. I do want to touch on Sebastian Rogers' case again. I've been talking about watching some stuff, and it's really, really getting in my head, and I got to get it out. Also, tonight, just so everybody knows, for Paranormal Friday night, we do go off the grid and get away from the true crime stuff for a while. And we talk about all things paranormal, and it's different every week. So tonight, guys, for those of you that are familiar, there was a movie that came out years ago called Fire in the Sky. It's about Travis Walton. It's based on a true story. It supposedly was abducted by aliens. And that's what we're looking into, is the true story behind Travis Walton and other things in that realm if it's a shorter scenario. But we're looking into the true story behind that movie, Fire in the Sky. So if you're interested, I would love to see you here tonight, if you will. I'll put it up here shortly. I won't give you the exact time right now because I'm not positive what it will be, but I will be putting it up. I was watching a horror movie and a bat. Oh, Jesus, that's a sign, Kelly. Yes, the new Twister was good. I don't know if anybody has also. I don't know how many of you guys are into watching like the superhero movies and stuff. The new Deadpool movie was absolutely hilarious. It was one of the best movies I've seen them do. Michael liked the Melonheads show we did, didn't you? And we could always do, let's see what Doodle thinks. We could always do the Black-Eyed Children again, guys. That was quite interesting, in my opinion. Yeah, the new Twisters movie. I'm a little upset that it didn't have the original peeps in it, Helen Hunt. But I know, was it Bill Pullman that was in that? I think he passed away, so they couldn't have put him in it. But they could have done something along that line. But it was really good. The effects in it were crazy. Am I wrong, Arctic? They were really good. Neither one of you guys want to do the Black-Eyed Children, huh? I get it. No problem. You're going to really like it. I'm supposed to go see the new Deadpool movie tonight with POS. Well, what are you going for then? I mean, unless he's doing the right thing nowadays, then okay, I get it. But you're going to like it, Brandy. If you guys like any of those superhero movies, you'll like it. They're really good. Prefer the game, Twister, Mark and Betty says. Okay. All right. Well, good. Make sure he does. He needs to pay for more than that, too. Little demons can kiss my crack. Oh, okay, Doodle. Black-Eyed Children. That day, someone knocked your day. I remember. Yes, it was crazy that day. Crazy story, too. Virginia Wolf, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Welcome back. The new Deadpool movie, it's Deadpool versus Wolverine. It's actually really funny. Deadpool and Wolverine. It's got a lot, and Wolverine, I'm sorry. It's got a lot of comedy in it. It's great. So, and I may bring some of you guys up here to express your feelings on this situations too, because I enjoy hearing from you guys. Well, I'll put it this way. Ryan Reynolds is very well known, especially in the Deadpool movies, for ad-libbing and going off. Bill Paxton, thank you, Zelda. That's who I was trying to think of. Sorry. Anyway, for going off script, he a lot of his roles he does, especially comedic roles, are unscripted. He does a lot of ad-libbing. From my understanding, in this movie, he does it through the whole movie. It's crazy. And he does a lot of references to off-script type stuff. It's hilarious. It was really good. Really good. Naomi B, hello and welcome back. Good to see you today. Almost out of work for the day. I hope you have the weekend off too, Virginia. Knocked your, yeah, that's what happened. I knew what you meant, Michael. Somebody knocked on the door right when that was happening. It was like, whoa, what the hell's going on? I was the black-eyed child whenever I back talking my I'll bet. Yeah, don't fall into nothing there, Miss Brandy. You keep your guard up. All right, guys, on we go. So everybody knows here the scenario going on, of course, with Sebastian Rogers. We all know that it's become a ridiculous. And guys, I've become a little more raw than I used to be. Just I'm forewarning you guys. I don't hold my tongue and I don't hold back how I feel on things anymore. There's a little more swearing in here than there has been, and that's just how I'm choosing to be at this point. So just so you guys know, I don't want anybody to be shocked or anybody to be offended. I've just become a little more raw. Okay, I'll put it that way. And I want to catch you guys up front. Thank you, Nina. I appreciate that very much. I just want to be upfront with anybody that hasn't been here in a while. I don't want you to be freaked out if I start slinging the F word here or there. Okay. But we all know that Sebastian Rogers' case has turned into a complete, total fucking circus, and that's what it irritates me. Okay, and I did I did a live at the beginning of the week back here explaining, kind of going off about it, and I'm just over it. Okay, so at this point, and I stayed away from it for a while. At this point, there's too much of some things to look at and not say that's it's not too outlandish. Let me put it that way. Hold on, let me back up here and read something I missed. There's a lot going on in here. Give me 1 second, guys. Stick with me. I thought I saw somebody say Dago could do. Oh, there it is. Dago could do a show just shooting the shit. Everyone gets along. Oh, I actually don't mind doing those, Cynthia. I have done those. I think that's kind of fun to do every now and again. Get your pearls ready to clutch. We are sticking. I appreciate that, Michael. I do. I appreciate all of you guys that have stuck with me, that have stood by me, that have supported me through everything, saw through the bullshit that's been thrown at me. All of that, guys. I really do appreciate that more than you guys know. I have an amazing community here that I will never, ever be able to find anywhere else. And I love you guys. And I truly mean when I say that I do and care for every one of you guys. You have no idea. This is what I can't even explain it in words, you guys. It really means a lot to me. Captain's in the house. Welcome back, Captain Jenks. Good to see you today. There's a few of you guys that have been here for a long time that have always supported me under no, every circumstance, and saw through the bullshit and still come back day after day after day and supported me. And I have to tell you, like, from my heart, that means everything to me. It really does. This lady right here is one of them. She's been here from the beginning, guys. 100% from the beginning. Don't Dive 509. And I appreciate you, Dive. You know I do. Every bit of it. So, and that's all of you guys that have been here. You guys mean the world to me. Truly do. Yes, community 100%, Michael. 100% community. This community is amazing. These are the best people. The best people. This is, and a lot of other creators will say they have it. They have it. They have it. I personally feel, and I'll argue it, that I have the best community out of everywhere in YouTube you go. That's my opinion. I have the best people, the best community, the most amazing people, and I'm grateful for every one of you guys. I'm glad you found this channel too, Callie. We love you to death. I know Miss Paula does too. I've had to learn some lessons from you guys. Honestly, I have. I haven't always had my ears wide open to hear the things you guys are saying, and I'm trying. This isn't easy either. There's decisions you got to make about things, and you don't always know what to think or say about certain things. But there's certain people here that I would stand in front of a bus for. I really would, and that's most of you in here, because I know at the same time that you guys have supported me and would do a lot of that kind of stuff for me as well. So understand that that's fact, okay? I'm as real as real gets with you guys. No matter what anybody puts out there or tries to say, there's nothing about that isn't true. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I will always feel that way, period. And you all know who you are, period. Yes, I'm glad to have you as well. My rat. What the hell, Brian? You are so random. Just ate 4 hamburgers out of a pot sitting on the counter without making one sound. She's a rat. That's a little creepy there, Michael. Or I mean Brian. Yes, that's what a lot of people have been saying that to me, and I appreciate you, Don't Dive. You know I do. Very much so. Same with you, Zelda. Thank you very much for the $2 super chat. Ride or die, my friend, always. We love you guys. Seriously. Brian, dog. Ray's in the house. Ray Baltic, good to see you. Are you talking about a dog, Brian, or a rat? Or a cat? That's a dog. I knew you had a dog. I'm thinking, what the hell are you talking about, a rat? Yes. Yes, Miss Sherry. You have no idea. And I do know. I do know. I like having collaboration other that can rein me back when I start going. Yes, sir. There's no reason to rein you in, though. That's the difference. It's great to see you, Ray. Thank you for joining us. So, sorry, I'm getting off track, getting all squishy here again. I don't want to do that. I just want you guys to know the facts that how I feel about everybody that comes in here and how much I appreciate the support you guys give. Good golly, Miss Molly's in the house. Good to see you, Molly. Thank you for joining us, and thank you, SRB, for the $4.99 super chat with the muscle. Or is that a super sticker? It's a chat. I see the muscles. Yes. Thank you, SRB. Very much appreciated. Yes, Miss Brandy, we are 100%. Brandy's been with me longer than anybody, and I love her like a sister. That's fact. Absolute fact. I don't want your head to get too big, but I think you are the best. Oh my God. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It doesn't. I'm not one of them people, Moni, but thank you for that. That means everything to hear that stuff, you guys, because I do doubt myself, just like anybody would. So hearing that makes my day every time I hear it. She's a dog, a little rat. How she's got 4 hamburger patties out of the pot on the counter without making a sound. Well, they're sneaky, Brian. When they want something, they get it. So, moving forward, you guys know we reviewed some of Chris from Mob Crew's videos, right? And it kind of opened up our eyes to something that I think a lot of us had been thinking about at some point for a while. I'm almost positive, and I feel so sincere about thinking what happened to Sebastian the night of February 26th. And I think that scenario that has been kind of put out there from those videos is where we're at with it, guys. I really truly do feel that way. And I can't get past it at this point now. Miss Paula says we really do have the best subs and chatters. And yes, ma'am. Of course, I don't like to say subs. I think that's impersonal. I call you guys family, community. That's it. Nothing against you, Paula. I know what you're saying, and I appreciate that. But I don't say the word subs because it's so impersonal to me, and a lot of other people do say that. But yeah, absolutely. He is absolutely right. We do have the best and the best community members, the best chatters here. I agree. Yeah, absolutely, Nina. It is the most plausible and possible scenario to what could have happened to this child. I agree with that. It's nothing else makes any sense, first and foremost, okay? There's other things that go along with that, though. I've been thinking about this. I've been having some conversations, and trying to figure out what would a motive be. In fact, I even reached out to somebody. I'm checking my email right now to see if he would want to join me on here. I'd like to have a conversation with him as well, because we're kind of on the same page with some of this stuff. I hope he gets the email. Did it not get to him? Maybe it did, and I'll have to get it back. Emails are hard to find sometimes. Thank you, Nina, again for the email. No, it's not there. But anyway, we'll figure it out. I will get to him one way or another. So, let's see here. If that video is legit with the lights, then I can only think it was. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Virginia. I am right there with you. Hold on, Nina. Let's see here. Let me check real quick. Wow. I'm a little bit lost on this, Nina, but it is interesting what I'm seeing. Whoa. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that, what that kind of leads to. So, thank you, Linda. That's the whole point. I'm trying to make it happen that way. I'm trying to. So, okay, if we're to go along with this what happened to Sebastian that night, the scenario that Chris has been showing us, if we're to go along with that, let's say that, okay, and this everything that we're going to talk about, because we don't have any complete total factual information, right? Give me 1 second, guys. I'm having a bit of a technical thing. I'm trying to pull something up. Just stick with me. I'll be right here. I'm just trying to put this together. Okay. I don't know what something just happened with YouTube. It was weird. Thank you, Miss Cassie, for that. Gifted a membership to Callie Dime. Welcome to the sauce, Callie. Welcome back. Well, if you weren't in there before, welcome. 6 new members today. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Cass. We appreciate you. Welcome to the sauce. All right, hold on, guys. Let's see if this works now. Is it gonna work? Nope. Okay, well, that's all right. We can talk about it either way. I don't know why that was doing that. That's strange. Sorry. Let me see something here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw up a couple of these updates, these news breaks that have popped up in Sebastian's case. And then we're going to talk about a couple of things. I just like to share these with you guys when I see them. So bear with me on that. And then we'll go from there. Okay, hold on.
That at the end of the day that we all remain hopeful. I think there have been, miracles happen every day.
Now continuing coverage of another Amber Alert that so many of you have been following. Today marks 2 weeks since 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers went to his bed in Shackle Island at his house there, not to be seen again. Many gathering for a prayer vigil at his high school this evening. Sebastian's disappearance has certainly gripped hearts across Middle Tennessee and beyond.
Yes, Laura, I do. Hold on, guys. Bear with me for a minute. I do. What is her name, Laura? Arctic does too. Yeah, please put up. What is her name, Miss Laura? None of us have no problems doing that, especially when one of you guys comes to us. Welcome, Cake and Crime. 6 months ago. Oh, Gabby Becker. Did you get that, Arctic? Okay, give me a minute, guys. We'll get to what we're doing here in a minute. No sign up forced entry. Okay, hold on a minute, everybody. Bear with us. One moment, everybody. How old is she? Laura. Traveled on bus. Is she 42 years old? "42. She's 42. I got it right here. I think this is her. That look familiar? Oh, thank you, Doodle. There it is. Here we go. Okay, 42 years old, female, white, 5'7", 130 pounds, light brown, curly shoulder length hair. Gabrielle was last seen Friday, November 21st, 2023, in the Roxbury, New York area where she resides. Her family has been unable to contact her since and are concerned for her safety. Gabrielle does not have a vehicle, may be utilizing public transportation. Anyone with information, please contact SP Sydney at 607-561-7400 or email. Who is SP? Is that a police officer? And do you know, Laura, if there's been any kind of anything that could lead to the possibility of foul play or anything? Or anything that we could look into? Hold on a minute. I think I have one more. Give me a second here. All right, let's see what this does. Okay. Okay, so this says the search for a missing Delaware County woman trudges on despite lack of information or leads into her disappearance. New York State Police are actively investigating the whereabouts of Gabrielle Becker, who vanished last year. Good God. Becker, 42, has been missing from Roxbury since November 24th of 2023. Okay. That date was the last time the family was able to make contact with her, and she has not been heard from since. She doesn't have a car and is thought to be using public transportation to move around. How familiar with this? Would you be interested in coming up here and talking about it real quick? Welcome, Boots and Cats. Laura, would you be interested in jumping up here to have a conversation about it real quick? You don't need to. I'm just curious if you would. By the way, hold on a minute here. I'll get this information to Mom as well. Arctic, there's a link in the chat in Discord if you want to jump up here, bro. Welcome, Lex. Sure. Okay. Are you on a computer or a phone, Laura? Guys, we're going to put a little bit of what we're going to do aside for this. This is kind of important. Hey, Niles. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Robert. I got what you're saying. Okay. What I'm gonna do. There's Arctic right there. Welcome, bro.
Howdy.
Good to have you here. I'm gonna bring Laura up here real quick, and she said she has no problem having a little conversation with us about this that could help it in any fashion whatsoever. So, there's a link in the chat there, Laura. It's just for her at this point, you guys. If you want to jump up here real quick, we would love to have you explain a little bit about it to us, and then we could both do what we're going to do with it. Okay. And then, like I said, I'll get the info to Mom as well. The only thing I ask you to do, Laura, is when you come backstage before you come up on the panel, just show me your face real quick one time so I can make sure this is not a scam, obviously. I'm not saying you would, but we do this with everybody just to make sure. And we'll bring you up here and just talk to you for a few minutes about this and see what we can put together for it. I know I have no problem, and I know Arctic has no problem taking requests, as you said, about trying to do this, because everybody's important. Okay, Laura, I see your face. You can shut that camera down if you want to. It's up to you.
I'm okay.
Okay, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for doing this. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Arctic is up here with me as well. He is another, he does a lot of missing persons. He does nothing but missing persons pretty much. So he's very good at it too. So what do you know about Gabby? What happened? What could have happened? Just, surrounding the time she went missing.
Yeah, so I mean, this is the part that's really bothered me, is there been barely any coverage of this. I mean, and sometimes that's the way you solve a case. And we had a local case down here in Maryland, Rachel Morin. You might have heard of it. A lot of people might have watched it.
Yeah.
I know that thing was blasted for months, and then they were able to get the killer. And, with my niece here, the family's been so private and cautious. It's just really bothered me, because usually when you do something like that, you kill any chances of word getting out. And I found out months after she's been missing. And so essentially her mother and father live in Albany, New York. She moved to upstate New York sometime before that. She's had some health problems physically. She seemed to have like a normal mental health, much, much younger. She's always been very nice, very artistic, very caring. But it seems like she's kind of declined over the years. I do know she's had a caseworker and psychologist. Her family mentioned that when she went missing. And the only thing that really came out about her was that poster, and then family members shared it. I even had to ask permission to share it. And so it just seems like things are dragging on, and there's just been no kind of closure on this. And
you had to ask permission to share a missing poster?
From from my family members. They didn't want to share it because they were worried about Gabby having a negative reaction to it. I think they just were in such shock about it that they thought maybe the way she disappeared was accidental or intentional. And so she lived in the area that's mentioned in the flyer. Mm-hmm. And from what I know is she didn't have a vehicle. She had a bus route.
Mhm.
and she would take her bus route to work. She would take it to visit the family further south, and that was her main transportation. So you could imagine. My theory is that she was probably taking that transportation for months. Someone may have targeted her.
Right.
So basically, what the family said to me around the time of her disappearance is they saw her in November for Thanksgiving,
Okay.
and they saw her that weekend. And then from what I know is I think a week or two went by, and then they contacted her, and then there was just no response. And then that's when they probably reported her missing to police. So by the time they found out that she was missing, already that critical period of 48
Right.
hours
Yeah. Right.
already happened. And so I mean, I don't know if there was any kind of targeting, and it was a crime. I mean, she did have some mental health issues.
Mhm.
Again, she wanted to be very private, and so they were very concerned about her hearing about it. And when they went to the apartment, like the first time, there was no sign of forced entry.
Okay.
I think there was like no signs of robbery.
Right.
Yeah, so there was that, and then the police did plant like an ID, maybe some keys, some money on the counter a couple weeks later, and they saw that someone had gone into the apartment. There was some lights, flashlights or lights, but nothing was really taken again. So then
Mhm.
again, that's kind of suspicious too. So somebody has a key to the apartment. So I don't know if her disappearance was really an act of crime or if it was maybe intentional. I just don't think something that was intentional, that was not crime related, could have lasted this long, in all
Sure.
honesty.
Well, one thing that I've noticed an uptick on lately, and it may not be related in her case, but there's been a lot of people go missing from bus lines, especially the
Uh-huh.
Greyhound bus lines and the public transit lines too. So that's definitely a possibility. As far as the apartment goes, it could have been something as simple as maintenance coming in there. They let the bug guys in to spray, something like that. That could have been what happened as far as stuff getting moved around a little bit. Was
Right.
she seeing anyone? Was there anyone involved in her life? Did she have any type of significant other at the time that she went missing?
To be honest, I really don't know, because again, her life was so protected. And I think this could have been a disadvantage. This probably is a disadvantage in this case, is that her life was so incredibly protected and privatized by the family, that I just didn't know.
Mhm.
But again, she's in her mid 40s, living like in upstate New York, which is more rural, having to travel by bus and then switch lines. These buses aren't coming every 10 minutes. So
Right.
I do think she was very vulnerable from that perspective.
Mhm.
And maybe, somebody kind of started paying attention to her and maybe started tracking her. That could be a good theory, but I really haven't seen anything, and I believe that the investigation is still active. And I really would love to see the word get out, but I could tell you my family would get upset with me just that I'm doing this. It's just bothered me for so long, and I never thought something like this would happen to me or my family.
Of
You know?
course. Right.
Well, I mean, and I can appreciate the family wanting to be cautious because there are nefarious creators out there that do turn these cases into complete circuses. So I
Yeah.
understand that. But as far as, having to ask to share a flyer, I will never understand that. Sharing the
No.
flyers, getting their face out everywhere, that is the quickest way to get them home. So.
Yeah. What was her? Can I ask real quick, Laura? What was her relationship with the closer family to her? Do you know how that was?
Yeah, I mean, her parents, I have a friendly relationship with her parents. They've been married for a long time. They have, from what I could see, a stable relationship. I think it was probably strained, but again, I would see these guys like once a year. So
Gotcha.
it's hard for me to really characterize it, but I know that they really wanted to maintain contact with her. So they prioritized like what she wanted out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Was there? Do
You
you know
know,
if
if
there?
they
Go ahead.
Go ahead, David. I'm sorry. I'm just taking over this whole thing. But
No. I want you up here for this reason. Go ahead, bud.
I was going to ask, do you know if they've tried putting a trace on her bank accounts to see if there's been any bank activity? Have they tried pinging her cell phone to see if there's been any cell phone activity or anything like that?
I was going to ask the same thing, so it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know. I just, when they called to tell me about it, they were like calling the whole family. So obviously they were already exhausted from doing it. I haven't really checked in either because they told me that they would let me know when something comes up. So I've just kind of stayed very far from it.
Sure.
And I follow the New York State Police because they're the ones reporting on it. And I keep liking stuff on missing peoples because, if they say something, I want to be the first to see it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now, do you know, has there been an actual, like a full-blown investigation put on this, like for any reasons and anything that's come out of that? Do you know, or just a missing person type scenario?
I haven't seen anything. I mean, it's been the flyer, and then that's been it.
And has anybody stated like the last person to see her, like physically see her?
Were her parents.
And that was Thanksgiving. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
I am just going to, and no shade towards her parents or anything, but it makes me very skeptical every time you've got the last person to see her is the parents, and the parents don't want her information shared with anyone. That is very bothersome to me.
We've covered cases like this, and it turns out to be, I'm not saying that the parents have had something to do with her disappearance, but you got to put certain things out there, even in an investigation, so that she can be found. Do you know what I'm saying? It's very sketchy. It is in that sense. And I understand the privacy side of it. And like Arctic said, there's some creators that are nefarious, that they don't have good intentions with these. Obviously we do this all the time. It's just strange. Like it's almost like you're kind of putting a little roadblock up to stop her from being found in some senses. You gotta kind of have to like let some of that stuff go. If they're trying not to upset her, that I respect that. But if there's no contact, that's a little odd. Yeah.
I mean, it could kind of be an indicator of the relationship. So maybe there is a family dynamic I just don't know about.
Right. That's possible. That's kind of what I was actually thinking.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible. I don't like to make inferences that, about my own family, but it just strikes me like, I don't think they would like contribute like intentionally to her missing. Like,
of course not. Right.
I don't think they would be the type of people to do that. They're like, what they do in their employment, they undercharge. They're very justice oriented. They do fundraisers all the time. So,
wonderful. Good.
Yeah. I mean, they try to be pillars of the community in very good ways. But I just,
with the mental illness,
they're private people themselves. To me, I'd be sharing this like all the time, but I'm just not close to that side of the family, so I haven't done much with it.
Okay, like, do you know when you said the mental things that are going on? Do you know in regard as to like possibly what it actually is, what they could be?
No, I know. I mean, they're so private. I wouldn't even know that. I mean, I wouldn't ask. I mean, there's, it kind of, I think on that side of the family, they're very traditional, very old school.
Okay.
Well, and it seems like it seems like we're working against a couple of things here, because you've got a family that's very private, doesn't want to get her face out, and I understand wanting to respect your daughter's privacy and everything. Then you've got the fact that she does have mental health issues, and law enforcement very rarely takes missing adults cases seriously as soon as they hear that they've got any type of mental health issues going on.
Bingo.
And unfortunately, they just say, well, they probably left of their own accord. There's nothing we can do about it. So those are two things that are going against us. The best thing that we can do in this community is we can make videos. We can get her flyer out there. We can work with other creators that could maybe do a better flyer for her and get that posted. That's really the best thing we can do to try to get her face out there and to try to bring her home.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I just saw that you guys are streaming, and I thought, well, I'll just ask the question. I appreciate you taking this on and posting about it, because maybe somebody will watch the stream, maybe today, maybe in a few months, maybe in,
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's the way this works. That's absolutely
Yeah.
why we do this, but Arctic is right. I mean, we have no problem doing this. This is what we do. This is why we do it. But when you come up against those little roadblocks, it's like we can only go so far with it. You know what I mean? And it makes it hard because we really do want. One thing he's absolutely 100% right about is law enforcement does not take heed to adult missing cases like they do with children's missing cases. It's just they're adults. They make their own decisions. And unless there's some kind of foul play that you know for a fact is involved in it, they don't really look at it. It's sad, but it's true. What kind of a relation did you have a relationship with her that you are okay talking about at all? Or
Yeah, I mean, in the early 2010s, I was trying to rebuild a relationship with her. I knew she had some tough times after she had gone to college. It did have a mental impact on her. Then she had some health issues, but she seemed to overcome that. And so in the 2010s, I was trying to build a relationship with her. And then it was sometime in 2015, she deactivated her Facebook account. So, after that, I just didn't really have a direct way of contacting her. So, those efforts died out in 2015, pretty much.
do you know if her family looked into like maybe any homeless communities that were around that area? It happens where people will just detach from life and say they don't want to deal with it anymore, and they move into those communities sometimes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, that's a good question to ask. I mean, I might follow up and just see if they've heard anything new. And
yeah, and you can keep in touch with us, and we can kind of use those tools to look into what we can look into. In the area that she's in, did she have any? But first off, did she have employment of any kind? Do you know of?
She did at one point in time, but I think at that time she was unemployed.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and she was on state assistance at one point in time. I don't know if it was active at that time, but
maybe like a disability type thing, or
I don't know if it was disability. It might be more income based.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, but
no children, right?
No. And she did live an independent life with, of course, all the things that I mentioned to support her. So, I mean, she definitely did have those safety nets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So would you say, in your opinion, like, and I'm only asking these questions to try to build mold a picture of who Gabby is, to kind of get in her mind a little bit as to what could go on. Would you say any autistic maybe, or was it more along the lines of something that came about, maybe schizophrenia or something like that? Like, in your opinion, I'm not telling you to give a actual, but just in the realm, you can kind of figure it out,
Yeah, I'm not going to give any kind of clinical diagnosis, but
No.
my father, who's her grandfather, was a genius. He did skip multiple grades. A lot of our family is very, very smart.
Gotcha.
So it's possible he could have been on the spectrum.
Yes.
Even I have some of I've read up enough on autism. I would even, say I possess some of the traits, although I don't like to give diagnoses.
I get it. Absolutely.
Yeah, but for her, I mean, considering kind of like that privacy thing, and then her parents being really hypersensitive, I think it does kind of belie a family dynamic I might just not be aware of.
Sure.
And I think it also possibly belies certainly a dynamic where they're treating her with ginger gloves, or gingerly. They're treating her gingerly, and trying to be very, very sensitive to her needs, because they want to maintain some relationship with her. I mean, that's what I got out of them not really wanting me to share the flyer to my network.
Got you.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to spook her and think that I get it. I understand.
Yeah, they didn't want to spook her. So, I mean, I think there was definitely a paranoia factor.
Do you know if any of her checks, like her disability or whatever income she had coming in, has that been getting cashed or spent, or do you know?
I really don't know. And I wouldn't even know how to ask that without upsetting the apple cart, so to speak.
Yeah, I understand. It's going to be difficult. Welcome, Charlotte. So, and the only thing I have worries about at this point is it's been a year. Okay, almost a year
Yeah.
coming up in November. It'll be a year. Almost up to the date. That's like the day after my birthday too. That's crazy. It was Thanksgiving on the 24th, I'm guessing. So yeah, okay. It's been a year with no contact. That's what unnerves me a little bit, because
Yes.
even somebody that maybe is living in this world with whatever's going on, you're going to contact somebody. You're going to need to do that, at some point in time. I'm a little nervous about that. Do you know if they tried to track maybe her phone or anything like that to see if anything came out of that?
I honestly don't know.
Okay. It's probably listed on the New York State Police website. I would think as an adult. Would you think so, Arctic, or no?
I mean, I'm not sure whether it stated if they've tried pinging the phone or not. It did say that she doesn't have a car and whatnot, but see, and that's the issue that we have is with such limited information, it's really hard to get a lot out there. I mean, we can do what we can. We can put a short little 2-minute video together, but without a lot of information, it's not really a lot that we can put out. So
yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna share basically what you're looking at here. Have a little talk like we're doing right now. Actually, I'll do it again. That's probably what Arctic's gonna do. I know Doodlebug, she does the same thing. So does Sherry. Andy's asking, and I don't know, what are your thoughts on this, Arctic? If it should be shared to Reddit, do you think that's something that would be helpful, or do you
I
think
mean,
it's
it
not?
wouldn't hurt anything. It wouldn't hurt anything, and it wouldn't hurt to get her put on Web Sleuths because you never know who's going to see it. And
Right. Mm.
Is this something I could do, or are you guys gonna follow? It's Cyber Sleuths.
Web
it's Web
sleuths.
Sleuths. It's a website, and I think all you have to do is sign up for the website. You could submit it, and you can definitely submit it yourself to Reddit. I mean,
Yeah, you could. We can. There's people in here that are willing to do those things too. Andy said she'd put it on Reddit right now, so we're.
Oh,
we're
okay,
on-
that's great. Thank you, Andy. I think it was
Um,
Andy.
yes, Andy.
yeah, Andy Rose. One thing that definitely needs to be taken care of, and I know the parents are private, and I know you don't want to upset the apple cart, so to speak, but we need to make sure she gets listed in NamUs for
Yes.
sure.
That was what I was going to say. 100%. That's a big deal.
And that's something that the family has to have her listed in. I mean, it can't be just some Joe Schmo off the street. The family has to request to make sure that she's listed there, which theoretically she should be listed there if a missing persons report was filed, but law enforcement is not always diligent about getting people listed there.
right. And that's why I was curious about. You said that New York State Police are the ones that were handling this. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know a lot about them. I've not followed a lot of their stuff, but I'm sure, I would hope that they did what they were supposed to do with it. But if they have a lot going on, sometimes it happens. Like he said, the diligence is a little bit lacking. So, what I can do at this point, Laura, the same thing like I said that he'll do is we can take the missing poster here or the other one that we had, just do a little talk about it, give a little info as to when she was last seen, talk about her, let her know that, everybody know that her family's looking for her, or her herself, if she may were to see this. That could help. Hold on one second here.
Yeah, you would be surprised how many people come home after they see a video about themselves, just realizing how much the family misses them.
Agreed. That's one of the big deals.
Yeah.
If she has access to anything internet wise or any of that, she may see it. That's the big deal. So thank you, Molly and Miss Sherry. I appreciate you both. Okay, here we go. So that's her missing poster there. New York State Police continue to search for, this was January 26th, for Gabrielle Becker, who went missing from Delaware County, New York in November 23. If you have any information, please call that number. Email crime tip at troopers.newyork.gov. And don't see any. There's one comment on this, so it hasn't been seen like widely. Wait, what is that there? The Vanished Missing International Group. Okay. Yeah, we can definitely share it out in that sense.
Is that
Andy?
is that Facebook?
Yeah, this came through Facebook, I believe.
Yeah, because maybe I'll like it again or comment. It's just
Sure,
just to
sure,
read.
sure. I was gonna go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, if she's on Facebook, she may reach out to the Aware Foundation or Kenny Gerald's. They can create a better poster for her and get her posted to their Facebook page, which has tons of following. So,
Absolutely. Just putting a little comment in there as well, and maybe somebody else will see it.
Let's see.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'm not very good at multitasking. Just trying to type real quick. Okay.
Yeah, the only thing that's coming up that I see is the post from December 5th, 2023.
And there's absolutely no, what is this? Please agree to participation. Yes, I'm 18. Lord, I forgot about that. Just maybe, no. Wait, please agree to participation questions. Okay. I looked for, first thing I looked for was any kind of like news coverage or anything, and there's nothing that I saw. So, that's that's not helpful. I'll just put it that way. It's not helpful at all.
It's so true.
Like if there's nothing out there, there's nobody knows, like I never heard this name or case, and I look at this, neither did Arctic, I'm pretty sure. And this is what he does all day long. Nothing but this, you know what I mean? I cover other cases too, but he does pretty much nothing but the missing. I'll talk to Mind of Monsters. She's another one we're really close with. She does nothing but this stuff. Doodlebug does nothing but the missing. So, and so does Miss Sherry, I believe. So, with everybody in this group here that will do that, if everybody puts it out, a little video or something on their channels, that part of it can help. But again, if there's no info, we're going to run into that wall every time.
Yeah.
There's the link for the Aware Foundation through YouTube.
Okay.
Or Facebook. I'm sorry, Facebook. That may help as well. But besides that, that's at this point, we're doing right now what we're doing right now. We're putting her name out there. We're talking about it. I really appreciate you coming up here and talking to us about it to give us just a little bit of insight into it. And hopefully it'll do something. Of course, I like to revisit these when I can. If there's been nothing happen, nothing happening on the case, I will try to go back. Lauren Sainto, welcome to the situation and see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so Molly asked, do you know an address in Roxbury by chance? I think Molly's looking into things. That's what she does. She's an investigator in the back, looking into different things to try to find different stuff.
I don't know the physical address. I mean, she's, when she kind of went offline in 2015, it just, that's when I lost my direct line of contact to her.
Got you.
Yeah.
Lauren Sainto, kidnapped missing daughter Lauren. I don't know what you mean by that, Lauren. A little more detail there, Lauren, and I can probably help you there. But yeah, I'm gonna continue to do this, Laura. Oop, okay. I thought he fell off. Like I said, I'll put something together. I know Doodlebug probably will. I'll get this information to Mom, or Mind of Monsters, I should say. Miss Sherry has the information. She's in here as well. Andy already went to Reddit to post it. So we're getting something rolling a little bit here without getting in too deep, too much personal information, I guess you could say. And hopefully I don't want to upset anybody and step on anybody's toes. But after a year, I'm a little nervous about it too. Just saying that.
Yeah, after a year, I mean, it's definitely, yeah.
100%. You know,
Mhm.
and I appreciate you trusting in the fact that we could do this to help out in any way.
Yeah.
We both do that. I know that much. And I will do, like I said, what we're doing right now, and I know that everybody else will, to try to help in any way we can. I hope it does help. Truly.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
and I
all.
think you have my email, so if you, I mean, I'll subscribe to the channel. I'll check out your various social media links. But I mean, if something comes up, feel free to email me. And I want to thank everybody for really caring and praying, and also going to Reddit and posting and trying to research the address and all that.
Absolutely. You know, we all got to do this together. It takes a village to help with all these situations. You know, you can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what we're all about around here, truly. So thank you again for joining us up here and giving us just a little bit more. It helps for sure. And like I said, if there's anything that you come upon, like you just said, you know, give us the updates on it here and there. Let us know what's going on. We can add that to what we do with it. So
Yeah, I definitely will. If when something comes up, I will definitely be in touch. And like I said, I'll make sure I'm following all your social media channels, and you have my email, so we can certainly stay in contact that way.
For sure. Arctic, do you have anything else to add? Please.
No, I mean, like I said, we'll get her face out everywhere that we can. If you do think of anything else, excuse me, email Dago and he'll let me know and I'll put something else together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that pretty much does it. Anybody else in chat have any questions or want to throw anything out there with this or no? Yes, absolutely. Miss Paula says, thank you, Laura, for going on panel talking to us. We will keep Laura's space out there and share on all of everybody's social medias. They'll be putting it out as well. So that's going to be a big help too, with everybody that's in here.
Great. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Again, anything else we can do, let us know either way. I also have a number I can be reached at if you want like that. It's 234-703, or I'll give you a minute to grab a pen.
234
703
Uh-huh.
4047. And if you're not comfortable calling me Dago, you can call me Joe. That's my real name.
Joe. Okay.
Yes.
I like Dago. That's cool.
That's what everybody says, right? Thank you. I think that'll do it though. And again, thank you, Laura. I appreciate you trusting in us to help in that sense and giving us the information to do with that. And of course, I appreciate you following the channel and supporting as well in that sense. So thank you so very much. And I hope something comes from this. I really do. So,
who knows? Thank you. Thank you again.
Absolutely. You have a great day.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. All right. Well, that was, I mean, guys, anybody that's out there understands something. I have no qualms with, I guess, per se, like she said, taking requests. I just saw somebody else in chat threw something up there too, by the name of Lauren Sainto. Kidnapped missing daughter, Lauren, 32 years old, out of Van Nuys, California. I don't mind at all putting any information out that can help somebody by any means. That's what this is all about. So feel free to send us info. I'm sure that Arctic has the same feelings because of what he does as well. So does Mom and anybody that does it in our chat here too. Feel free to send info. We have email addresses. If you need to email me, I can get it to him or vice versa, whatever. But again, guys, we're talking about Gabrielle Becker. She went missing from Delaware County, New York in November of 2023. I believe the last time she was seen again was November 24th, Thanksgiving, by her parents. Excuse me. In the Roxbury, New York area. That's where she resides. Her family's been able to contact her since and are concerned for her safety. This has been almost a year coming up, guys. Gabrielle does not have a vehicle and may be utilizing public transportation. And anyone, again, with information on this, please contact SP Sydney at 607-561-7400, or you can email crimetip@troopers.newyork.gov. So there she is again. 1 second here. Blow it up a little bit more for you guys to be able to, well, maybe not. That's the best I can do with that. But it looks like she wears glasses. That's what she would look like with her hair pulled back and then with it kind of down a little bit. I don't think this is her over here. No, just this on this poster. Again, she's 42. She's, of course, female, white, 5'7", 130 pounds, light brown, curly shoulder length hair. That was then. I don't know if it's changed now, but that's what you got there, guys. This was posted January 26th. And there's been no comments on this at all. I just made a comment hoping that somebody will see it and maybe respond. There's one comment on this, guys. That's not good. This needs to be seen a lot more, a lot more widely. So again, Laura, thank you for entrusting us to help in that sense. And like I said, hopefully something is going to come of it. I really do hope so. So, and I'm sorry, guys, that kind of put off what we were talking about, but stuff like that to me takes precedence. But we're going to get back to where we were here in a minute. Thank you for that. If anybody does need to contact me, by the way, my email is right there, Mayoras, MAYORAS 74@gmail.com. You can reach me. You can reach me at 1 second, folks. Sorry.
Dago will be right back after he answers his bat line.
All right, guys. All right, Robin, to the Dago car. I'm just kidding. I heard you. That was funny. It's funny, you know why? Because I actually have. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where'd it go? The Dago signal. See? Yeah. Molly put that together. I thought that was funny. Anyway, so hopefully something comes from that. Maybe. If not, we'll post it again. Doodle's going to post it. I'm sure Sherry will post it. It's kind of hard, though, like you said. And I understand the privacy side of things, but you kind of gotta open up that door a little bit if you want any help on things, I understand what she was saying. Some people are just, they don't want people in their lives.
Some people are super private. I've actually had families file privacy takedown requests on my channel because they didn't want the flyer out there. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm sorry. If you just emailed me, I would have taken it down at your request. So.
Mm-hmm. And it's weird, like she even said, you could tell she was surprised that she had to ask permission to her family to be able to even post a flyer. I'm like, well, that's kind of going against what you're doing. It's a little hard, but I get it. I do. I get it. I respect it. Welcome, Terry. Anyway, and Siggy, good to see you today. So, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. You can reach me at that email address, which is mayor74@gmail.com, or that number 234-703-4047. And if I don't answer it, you can always leave a message. I will get back to it. Thank you. And thank you, Doodle, for posting it and doing a short. Andy, thank you for going to Reddit. And I know Arctic's going to put something together. I'm sure Sherry will probably put something together at some point. And I will roll myself a short for it as well. The voice on the panel, Siggy, is Arctic Fox. And what the hell is up with my phone today? Good Lord. 1 second, the bat phone's ringing again.
Yeah, the Dago signal just needs to be a big saucy meatball. That's what the Dago signal needs to be. Well, hi, Sigi. Good to see you here in chat as well. Always a pleasure having you here.
Okay, sorry. That was actually Mrs. Dago because somebody had put some pop in our deep freeze in the garage and she's afraid it exploded. And I'm like, well, I'll check it here in a little bit. Sorry. I'll be cleaning that mess out if that's the truth. One of my other kids did it. So anyway. A big meatball shining in the sky. That would be great.
Tell you a joke. Let me think of a joke that I can tell and not get myself into too much trouble.
Oh, you're allowed, whatever. I don't care what you say, sir. There's no we're not what the hell's the word? Censoring anything. I don't know why I can't think today. Sorry. Go ahead.
My neighbor came to me the other day telling me about his personal issues and stuff, and apparently he's been experiencing some erectile dysfunction. So he went to the doctor, and at first they gave him Viagra. Well, the pills weren't working, so they gave him the rub-on form of Viagra. Well, that worked too well because he got to rubbing it, and then, well, you know, it's working, oh shit. So then he went and got one of those penile implant devices, and everything was going real well at first until we all got electronic garage door openers. Now his sex life kind of has its ups and downs.
Wow. I love it. That was great. That was great. For those of you who didn't catch it, think about it and let it come back. It's great. That was hilarious, dude. I love it. Love it. Love it. Hold on, Molly. Oh, okay. I think you found it. Wait. All right. Well, I'm not going to put any of that info out, Molly, but thank you. Jesus. You should work for the State Department. Good God. All right, Doodle. Doodle got all these up. Good. I'll be throwing those up in the shorts as well. And good stuff, guys. You guys are quick and amazing. Wow. Good stuff. So, I see you guys catching up and laughing at this point. That was funny, wasn't it? Yes. Yes. Michael's even like, laugh out loud, laugh out loud. I love it. That was a good one, Bo. Welcome, Sussbusters. Good to see you. Everybody that's jumped in, thank you for joining us. So, as I've told you guys, we were looking at the thank you for joining me, by the way, Arctic. I appreciate you.
Anytime.
Good to have you here. Always. What was I saying? Oh, the stuff that Mob Crew put out. We've been following that, reviewing it, talking about it. It's really opened my eyes and some doors to me. And what I'm going to talk about now, and I want this to be clearly known, this is nothing but an alleged theory, which is thousands of people have put out about this. Thank you again, SRB, very much. And nothing but speculative theory, 100%. Okay, absolutely alleged. So don't anybody take anything and run factual with it, because it's not, because we don't know. But knowing what we've seen and what we've learned over the past, I don't know, week on this and stuff that Chris has put together, I reached out to another creator to see if he'll join me up here to talk about some stuff too. Conjecture. Thank you, Sherry. It's interesting. It's an interesting thought, and it goes back to something that was said a long time ago. Now, understand, I've said 100%, I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but I've also said at the same time that I've never taken any one of the parents off the table as being the possibility of being involved, because law enforcement hasn't. Nobody's been cleared. And until law enforcement clears them and says they're cleared, they're not cleared, okay? Now, the thought of when we found out, it is yours and only your opinion. That's right, Miss Siggy. Thank you. And you can agree or disagree. It's not going to upset me either way. Finding out that the cameras, thank you for that, Doodle. There is the link to Arctic Fox's channel, guys. Please go check it out. Subscribe, like the stuff, and watch it, because he does great stuff. The fact that we come to find out that the cameras went out. I don't know if you heard this either, by the way, Arctic. The camera that took the video of the garbage truck, which is bullshit. It's not a garbage truck. Garbage trucks don't drive through people's yards, and they don't have headlights that go all over the damn place. There was no red lights, no beacon lights, no tail lights, no nothing. There was 2 white lights doing this. Actually 3. But anyway, not a garbage truck, and that's fine. It was already put out there as to what it wasn't. They can tell us what they want. That's okay too. I get why they're doing it, but it's not. So who was it? Well, then Chris did what he did, and we watched it, and it's like, damn, okay, there it is. They have relayed everything. It goes back to 3 months ago. Probably, Siggy. I think we do. It goes back to 3 months ago, and I showed you guys the only thing in the Bobby interview that made any sense to me, and that was the secondary vehicle that was caught on tape when the real garbage truck went past the house up the hill. There's a car that pulls on to Stafford, sits there, motor running, didn't move. Then you see lights going all over the place. You see somebody go towards their house through the yard, past the gazebo. And then you see somebody come back, and there's somebody standing there the whole time with one of those lights stays stationary while these other lights are moving. You see them coming back. One person stops, the other person comes around the corner out of nowhere, heading towards the car. And when you break it down and look at it, as the car is leaving the neighborhood, you see another light heading back towards the house. That was a little mind twisting for me. And I'm trying to fix, like, what the hell's going on at this point? Thank you, Paula. And yeah, I was confused, very confused. Guys, check out the shop if you're interested in any of the merchandise. It's right there. And again, yes, Miss Alicia, he is a true advocate, just like Mind of Monsters. Both of them amazing. So
let me just address this, Nina. A 50K reward out of the blue, it's odd, and it's not put out there in runaway cases. I'm just going to put that out there. They only put a 50K out if they know that kid's been abducted. That's the only time they're going to put $50,000 on the table like that. So I mean, I've seen it maybe in one runaway case, possibly, but not no $50,000 where rewards were put out. But generally speaking, and if you read the new flyer, it reads as though, I mean, they're telling us that he was abducted without telling us he was abducted.
Right. And thank you for addressing, and it's a great question, Nina, because it came out of the blue. Why didn't this happen beforehand? Well, I have my thoughts on this, okay? Now that, like I'm saying, we're talking about these cameras being jammed, that's a federal situation, guys. There's something called jammer enforcement, okay? Federal law prohibits the operation and marketing. Well, wait, let me show you. Hold on. And this is a perfect reason, in my opinion, that for the FBI to get involved, amongst other reasons.
Well, now let's be fair. The FBI has been involved from day one. So is the Secret Service. So is, the local Yokos. I mean, they've all been involved from the start. So is the FBI. They're just the ones that are putting that $50,000 up, which again, I think is very indicative that they think he was abducted.
Abducted, 100%. I just think that they've kind of taken the lead in some senses on this, maybe because of certain things that have maybe come to the surface, or that were talked about or seen in a different way. Maybe that's just an opinion I have. It's illegal, federally illegal to jam. It says it right here. Federal law prohibits the operation, marketing, or sale of any type of jamming equipment, which blows my mind that they sell it right on Amazon. That interferes with authorized radio communications, including cellular and personal communication services, PCS, police radar, and global positioning systems, GPS. Okay, now that doesn't refer to personal private cameras you have at your home, but still, signal jamming devices can prevent you and others from making 911 and other emergency calls, pose serious risks to public safety communications, as well as interfere with other forms of day-to-day communications. And these are phone jammers they're talking about with this, but they do with all these things. When you see somebody's cameras, the date goes missing on a Friday and then comes back on a Tuesday. That's crazy strange. Sorry. It's just weird. And I don't know. And again, I started thinking about things and I went backwards a little bit within the, thank you, Molly, by the way, for that, within the case. And I'm thinking about other things that were said. And, I like to do that, go back to the beginning and look at things again and think, okay, wow. Okay, that was said. This was said. The Secret Service was involved, from my understanding, to go through all the digital stuff. Okay. That's my understanding. I believe I'm right. If I'm wrong, somebody will correct me.
Correct. And I think it still hinges largely on the electronic devices, which is why they haven't all been given back yet.
Yeah, that's what I meant by that digital evidence, which is the electronic stuff. Yeah, there's two things, in my opinion, that I seem to remember not being handed back yet, which is the Switch and the Chromebook, I believe. I think that was the only things that were left based on what was said. Why are they holding on to those? Because I think there was some kind of communication in one or both of those that went between him and somebody else, whether it's a family member, a friend, somebody that he made friends with, somebody that was trying to lure him, somebody that was a predator. It could be anything. Who knows? Okay. I think that's still why, because he stated that they handed back, Seth did, I should say, that they handed back certain devices. Well, why would you give one back if you didn't give the rest back? You know what I'm saying? And I was kind of surprised, because typically in these cases, don't they hold on to this stuff until the investigation's over? All of it?
It really depends on the case, because they can back everything up that they got off of the device, and a lot of times they'll give the devices back once they've got all the information that they need off of it. But in this particular case, I don't know. I've been trying to wrap my head around it, because usually the devices are given back. This is one of the few cases where I've seen where they've held on to the devices for as long as they have. Now,
Right.
I do firmly believe that it's an abduction case, but at this point, and this is just my opinion, we don't have anything to prove that it's Katie or Chris or Seth or any of the parents involved in it. I do feel like it's most definitely an abduction.
Yeah.
And part of the problem that we have is that a lot of the information that we're getting is coming from the parents, and we can't trust the parents, in my opinion, not a one of them, because they've all three been caught up in lies at one point or another.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I agree with that. And I want to ask you a question, since you're sitting here with me. And again, this is 100% speculative theory, folks. Just a thought. Okay. Which we've all done in this case. So, what if this was, I agree with Arctic. This is absolutely an abduction. That's where I'm at with this, period. I don't think he ran away. I don't think anybody went into that house and, well, let me restate this. I think there's a possibility somebody went in and took him, but I think this was a little different than that. But let me ask you, and this is for everybody, including you, of course, Arctic. What if this was a abduction that was done on purpose?
I've certainly been thinking about that. I have.
Okay.
Go
ahead.
And I hate doing this, because I really hate putting just balls to the wall theories out there. But
I know
we know that Chris did not want Sebastian, for whatever reason, around his daughter. And we do know that he was actively trying to get his daughter Faith, which is part of the reason why Sebastian was supposed to be going to live with Seth. Well, allegedly he was having some difficulties in school, and that's why he was going, but whatever. There is always been that theory out there that Chris and Katie could have institutionalized Sebastian, and that he's out there somewhere in an institution. We don't know, and that's very, very speculative. I mean, I'm not saying that's what happened at all. It's just one of the theories that's been put out there, but it is definitely a possibility. But I will say this, I think that's one of the far-fetched theories, because if you were going to do that, the last thing you would do is then call law enforcement and file a missing persons report and put yourself right there in the heat of the up.
Yes, I would agree. That's something that's been eating at me, truly eating at me, because they're not going to run the resources that they have, knowing that this child's not actually missing, but put in a place per se like this here. Okay. And waste the money and resources on that if they know about it. Now, I don't know truly. I've looked into it a little bit, and I can't come up with a whole lot on it, what the law is involved when it comes to something like this. Now, I know that some of these situations are protected in some ways, by like the National Disability Association and the National Autism Association and stuff like that. But there's still the law, you guys, okay? The law is the law, and you cannot waste legal resources when there's not somebody that's actually missing. Now,
Correct.
it's still very hard, knowing what we do know now in some senses, to avoid a situation that or to avoid talking about a situation that is plausible and possible is all I'm saying. I'll get to this here in a minute, but hearing what I've heard recently and seeing what I've seen recently, okay, this looks like it is 150%. Good afternoon, Annette. 150% completely premeditated. There's no two ways about that at that point, if that's what happened. And I'm very comfortable at this point thinking that on February 26th, that is what happened with Sebastian. Okay, because it makes more sense than anything we've seen or heard. There's something yanking at the nerves in my brain about this, and that's the whole law enforcement aspect. They should know, if anybody knows, about anything dealing with any of this stuff, okay? Not just us. Now, I think I will say this much. I think the garbage truck theory very likely was put out there on purpose by law enforcement to keep people or suspects from feeling like they're onto me and doing something drastic or bolting or any of that kind of stuff, okay?
Well,
Because
and if you'll remember when they did the presser about the lights video, they wouldn't come out and they said that at this time they don't feel it's of evidentiary value. And when they were pushed on it to give more information, they said, well, we can't put any more information than that out because do you think it's going to be of evidence in the future? We don't know. It's an active investigation, and that's all they would say. So
right. And then Nick Barris asked him, I think, yeah, it was Nick Barris he's the one that put well, it's not stupid, but he put that video out to begin with. He shouldn't have done it. I'm pretty sure that he got reamed for that, to be honest with you, but he shouldn't have done it, but he did. And when he did, I think there was a fumble to hurry up and fix a situation that could have caused a problem maybe. And I hope it didn't. I'll put it that way. I don't know who that was. None of us know who that was with those lights. It definitely was not a garbage truck, though, okay? I don't care what anybody tells me. You're not going to make me believe that. There's no way in hell it was. I went, as I've told you guys before, and I looked at the vehicles that do the trash removal in that neighborhood. I looked all about that, into it. That is not a truck. And once I realized completely the direction that camera was facing and how, no, it's not possible, guys. It's just not possible. When you see the light,
interesting, though, just in my opinion, it's real interesting that Seth has further pushed the garbage truck theory, though. We haven't heard Chris and Kenny making statements on it, but Seth said, yeah, it's a garbage truck.
Well, and I've thought about that too. You're right. That's a good point. And I here's my thought on that. We've watched how Seth is. We've watched some of the decisions he's made. Okay. I gotta wonder, did they tell him that and like force him to say this is what it is and you're that's it. Take care, Zelda. Because they don't want him to come out with something else, because he is a little bit I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but he does have a tendency to blab a little bit about some things, and I don't think maybe they didn't trust it. You know what I mean? And that's just my opinion. I'm not saying that that's what it is. I'm just saying maybe they told him that to keep him quiet because that's the only thing they have. And I feel like after hearing Bobby say that one thing out of that entire interview that she gave, Bobby the neighbor, well, she lives all the way at the end of the hill, but still, hey Tomboy, that one thing that she gave in that interview is the only thing out of that whole thing that I believed and made any sense to me. Because the way she explains it is the garbage truck, yes, was in the video at between 5:30, but it was going past the house, up the hill, towards where Bobby actually lived, and then it came back through a little bit later. It did its job. But before that, around 3:30, there was another vehicle in video. Chris showed it. We saw it. You could see it clear as day. And we can't quite figure out what it is because it's very bad video. Just like the Koberger video was. Okay. All that kind of stuff. So I got to wonder, do they know that? And maybe they can't make it out themselves. And I'm still a little weird on that, though, because we have Secret Service and FBI on that. Why would they not figure that out? How could they not figure that out? But here's the thing. If the plates were taken off the car on purpose, you're not going to figure out that. You can't see who's in the vehicle. You can't see who the people are because it's too dark. Okay? That's the problem. Where are you going, Andy? You all right? All right, Michael, thank you for joining us. I'm sorry it took so long to get to the point. I know Zelda's the one that's leaving, not Andy. Okay. Sorry. It's great to have you here, Michael. I hope to see you soon. So anyway, back to where I was trying to go with this. Chris did some overlays with some vehicles that do match up with some vehicles. Okay. He did quite a few. They do match up with a few different things. And I was interested in that. Now, I got to wonder if this was, and this is just nothing but a theory, you guys. I'm not saying it's true. And I'm not trying to blame anybody because I have not yet done that. I don't agree with that kind of stuff, but it's just too interesting to me because the operation, as I'm going to call it, to black out the cameras, or block out is what it's called, from Friday to Tuesday, the day after he disappeared, they come back on. One of the cameras in the neighborhood was completely fried. This all happened at the same time, by the way. Excuse me. And that's something that can be done from, say, here, where I'm sitting. I can sit here if I know what I'm doing and I've worked in this field or have experience in this field. You can sit right here and go and do that to somebody's cameras in another state, guys, because it's running through online services. Okay. What Arctic said makes a lot of sense about Chris and that kind of stuff as well. When I looked into what it would need to know how to do that kind of stuff, there's a lot of military aspects to that. They do that kind of stuff in the military all the time. Okay. We have training in the military by 2 people. We have somebody that works for a security company doing that kind of stuff. We looked it up, and the job title has listed things just like that kind of stuff. That's weird to me. Now, the only reason it made me go that direction is when Chris showed those lights that night. He showed the lights coming to the vehicle from the home. And then, as the car is ready to leave, they show one light going back to the house. That shocked me. That floored me. Why would somebody be going back to the house? Now, let's talk about something else real quick. I think one of you guys just threw it in the chat too. One of the big things that was not allowed to happen in the investigation, they looked into Katie 100%, 2 polygraphs, did all this stuff. They followed her around. They talked to her. They did all the investigative stuff. But the one thing they weren't allowed to do was mess with her vehicle, her work truck, because it wasn't allowed by the company. Now, whether or not that's happened since then, I don't know. But that was a little strange to me. I don't know what that may have to do with it, if anything at all. It's just weird to me. Okay. I broke this down and put out a video up, and I showed you guys it wasn't a video. I went to Google Maps and I said, this is how this could have happened. This is where this all took place. This is the distance. This is how Molly did maps with the distancing, the timing, all of that stuff. We looked at it. Okay. Again, I don't want to, nor believe in blaming people. But what if you're trying to shoot? Hold on. Give me, guys. Arctic, hold this for me for 1 second. I'll be right back.
Sure. I mean, at this point, it's hard not to look at Chris and Katie. But for me, it's hard not to look at Seth because of some of the stuff that he's done. And I would feel a whole lot more confident, just personally speaking, in what Chris is putting out if he wasn't working with Stephen Crabtree, who is or has previously been all mixed up with Tony the Phony. That's the problem that I'm having with, some of the stuff. And Chris is great. Don't get me wrong. Chris has done some phenomenal stuff. He's gone and helped out tremendously in Aiden's case, found Aiden's shoes when no one else could. He is definitely out there. He's a great advocate, and I love him to death. I love Mob Crew to death. But I don't really particularly have a lot of trust in anything that comes out of Stephen Crabtree's mouth. And that's what my issue has been since he started kind of working with Stephen Crabtree a little bit. Yeah, you're right. He's an admitted liar. So, I mean, I'm right now, I'm taking the whole Jammer thing kind of with a grain of salt. Yeah, you know, my initial theory from jump was that Sebastian had been lured away from the house, or lured out of the house, had been basically groomed online because he was gaming. That's been my theory all along. And of course, from the start, we were told that Sebastian didn't have any access to the internet at all. He didn't have any access. Both Seth said that, and Chris and Katie said that. Then we later learn that he's got free reign to the internet at Seth's house. He has full access, and he's there for 10 to 12 hours at a time by himself without any supervision. So, but then we also have Chris and Katie saying that, he didn't have any electronic devices that he had free reign to at their house. They've said that he didn't have a laptop or anything like that. Well, we know, because I've researched it, that the state of Tennessee issues either Chromebooks or tablets to all of their students. So Sebastian would have had either a tablet or a Chromebook that he used for school. Now, granted, their access is usually pretty restricted, but you've got someone who is as bright as Sebastian, and he could have probably figured out ways around the firewalls that were put there that keep him from going to certain sites. Yeah, they can lock the internet down all they want to, but as I've said before, all it takes is one neighbor with an open Wi-Fi network, or depending on how close they live to a McDonald's or whatnot, being able to pick up that signal. Yes, exactly. That law enforcement still has. So we've got to look at all of it. I mean, we can't just say, well, yeah, Chris and Katie look suspicious. Well, yeah, they do. They've said some very, very shady stuff. In fact, when we interviewed Chris and Katie on Dutchie's panel, where Chris liked to say how crystal clear he was going to be, he was anything but crystal clear when asked whether he had passed a lie detector test. He basically lied and said that he had, and he had not at that time. Which, granted, that could have been law enforcement telling him not to talk about whether he had taken one or not. We don't know. But it certainly made him look bad in my book. But then you've got Seth and all the lies that he has been caught up in, his story ever changing throughout the time. And then it's him doing everything he can to throw shade on Chris and Katie. And he doesn't even have any recent pictures of his son. Everything he has is from their time out in California, and everything goes back to California with Seth. So, honestly, I am lost on this. I do firmly believe that law enforcement knows way more than what they're telling us. And I do believe that they have deceived us in some aspects. Maybe, yeah, with that lights video, certainly kind of deceived us. With the, we've got the dispatch of the dogs tracking a scent to the water, and yet they come back later and deny that a scent was ever tracked. So I know that there's people out there that says law enforcement would not lie to the public about a case. Generally, that's true, but it's not far-fetched. It has happened before when they're trying to protect the integrity of a case.
They do it all the time when they need to. Yes, sir. That's true. That is very true what you just said. And I'm not, I can't say that I wouldn't put it past them. That's important sometimes, like he said, folks, to protect the integrity of the case. Absolutely. It happens a lot. Okay. And I'm not saying this. I'm saying, please don't understand me that this is just Chris and Katie that I'm putting this at right now. That's not what I'm saying. That's one scenario that's a possibility. There's also one scenario that could be related to Seth. There's another scenario that could be related to somebody completely different that he met online, because we do. Like I heard you in the background. I was trying to take care of my dog. That's why I was gone. Sorry. Talking about the fact that we were told from the beginning that he had zero access to the internet. We know that's not true. He had it in both places in some sense, but mostly at his dad's house. So everything he said so far, you guys, 100%. But I just can't look past it. By the way, the Crabtree thing, I heard what you said about that too. I know he's gotten away from Tony and all that at this point. And he's definitely not a fan of Tony's anymore, but I knew what you were talking about from the beginning. I'm right there with you at that one. I'd like to actually talk to him and see where he sits at this point and get a real feel from him himself, now that he's completely not dealing with Tony at all, and he looks to Tony as who Tony really is. I don't know, guys. There's just too many things that there's kind of a direction to go with this now a little bit than from what we had before. And it's hard to not go with that direction, if you know what I'm saying. I just don't know how to take what I'm, there was, okay, let's put it this way. There was a theory in the beginning I heard, because I think it was Chris's mom and dad went to Alaska. That's why this got brought up. Okay. These are all theories, guys. And all I'm doing right now is just looking at different theories and seeing which one makes sense in the scenario. So I didn't believe that, oh my God, they went to Alaska. That's not, no, law enforcement would have known about that, so on and so forth. Come on now. That doesn't make any sense. Chris said the same thing, but at the same time, do we really know? No, we don't. What if they were trying we do know one thing I did say, and it bugged me. It still bugs me. Seth told us all he was supposed to get custody of Sebastian. And at first it was just for the summer, and then it became a permanent scenario. And everybody asked him in an interview again, I think I said this already, but I'm going to repeat it. How does Katie feel about that? And Seth's words were, well, Chris is working on her right now. Stephen Crabtree, Leslie. He's not dealing with Tony anymore. But anyway, why would Chris have to work on Katie if it was something that was agreed upon already? Okay.
Well, I'm going to bring up something that's always bothered me, and that's that Seth keeps saying that he already has Sebastian enrolled in school. Well, how is that possible? He went missing in February. He was still enrolled in Hendersonville schools. So how is he going to up and be able to already have enrolled Sebastian in a completely different district while he's already enrolled in Hendersonville?
That's a good point. The only thing I could come out of with that, though, Arctic, was that he was putting him in online schooling. Remember?
Still,
I don't know.
he would be able to just enroll him in a different district like that, regardless of whether he's going to be doing online schooling or not. I mean, I wouldn't think.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I question that too. Can you do it if it's online, or if you're pulling it? I know for a fact if you have a child that you're enrolling in a different school district, like regular schooling, you can't until that child is unenrolled from the other school. At least I don't think you can. Online schooling, though, I don't know if you, and he probably wasn't telling the complete truth. He may have set it up if he was going to do the online thing and got things rolling, but I don't think he had him enrolled, because he was still enrolled in school. He hadn't even finished school yet when he went missing. Okay. So that's a huge question. You're absolutely right. Let me see. Cap, that's another good point too. Katie hadn't been talking to him. Chris did all the talking, and I understand why. And that's something that seemed to bother Seth the whole time.
I will say this. I have pretty much taken Katie completely off my bingo card. If any of the parents are involved in the abduction, I think it's either Chris Proudfoot or I think it's Seth Rogers. I do not think Katie was involved at all.
Gotcha. Well, let me hold on here. Hold on a minute. Let me see something here. That's what I think too, Paula. And I'm sure they checked that out. The only I'm with you as well as far as taking Teddy off table too. But let me give you a scenario. I think we all saw the divorce papers between the two of Seth and Katie, how that relationship was. We heard the stories about the abuse. Then we heard the interview with, I think her name was Gabriella. I think you were there for that too, Arctic.
Yep.
And what she stated about Seth being the way he is, the smacking in the head type thing, which I already had in my mind foreseen, that kind of stuff. Where I was going with the whole Seth getting custody of him and Chris having to work on Katie to allow for it to happen, I wondered, and I thought about, I even talked to my wife about the scenario. Okay. What if you were trying to protect your child and you're very uncomfortable with sending this child to go live with an abusive parent that you think is abusive? Maybe you would do something to make it so that that he didn't have to go live with his father and not want to deal with the court bullshit that was probably going to come from it. And that person that would probably throw up the whole SA that happened in the past, try to say that you're an unfit mother and that happened on her turn and all that kind of stuff. That's the only way I would think that Katie would do something, and in a sense to protect him from his father, if in her mind. Now that is something I can't let go of because it does seem plausible. But I agree with you on the other things, Arctic, with what you're saying.
Okay, and Paula asked, why would Seth do it? Well, Seth has never been able to let Katie go, and I feel like if he were to abduct Sebastian, it would be a way to have to bring Katie back into his life. Also,
Yep.
I find it very suspicious that a GoFundMe set up 3 days after a child goes missing when he's also got all of his coworkers donating his PTO, that he's not put any money towards a reward fund or billboards, where at least the Proudfoots have donated towards billboards, both when
Yeah.
Dutchie and the other creator put them out. So,
Absolutely. Those things are absolutely correct. I agree with those too. That's why this is so hard for me to kind of, it could be this, it could be that, it could be this, it could be that. There's a lot of different things it could be. That's what bugs me. Seth keeps coming up missing. What do you mean by that, Taylor? Like disappearing and stuff like that? God knows what he's doing. I don't know. I don't trust anything he does. Every decision he's made has been a bad decision throughout this whole thing, in my opinion. You had people that had credentials that were willing to help, that came aboard to do their jobs, to do this, and you ran every one of them off. Then you bring somebody in that doesn't want to work with any of them. How is that helping the situation? It's not. So that's what I'm talking about the decision making. It's ridiculous. So this all boils down to, I do truly believe, what's up, Niles? Good to see you. I do truly believe that he was abducted. There was a theory that was brought to my attention. Again, this is just a theory. Hold on. That was talked about in the beginning, that what if the Proudfoots, and I don't like to even bring them into anything because I've never thought that they did anything wrong. Okay. I've never, ever thought that, but this makes me think. What if the Proudfoots, like I said, were trying to protect Sebastian from going to his father, and they sent him off somewhere else to hide him? And then it was brought back to me again about Chris's parents going to Alaska. And I'm like, okay, I get it. But I would think that law enforcement would know about all of that. That's why that's so hard to sink in for me. Okay. I don't know. And I definitely don't think that Seth alone could pull something like this off. If this whole thing falls into play, I don't think he could. Now, he could do that with the help of somebody. I agree. That's been talked about too. His mother is a smart person, and she only appeared when this all went down. There's no pictures of this child on, excuse me, there's no pictures of this child on any of her social media accounts, or even her own son. But she just appears out of nowhere when this happens. It's kind of wild. That, I'll say, is a little bit questioning to me. Or questionable, sorry. And again, guys, none of them may have nothing to do with this. These are just, at this point, we're 6 months into this. There's not one answer. There's not one sighting. There's not one bit of evidence that proves anything about where this child went. Something's got to give somewhere. And I'm looking at every angle I can. If we find incriminating evidence on the device, we keep and use in prosecuting the suspect. Of course. Well, there you go. So that's probably why those devices have not been given back. Thank you, Niles. That makes perfect sense. Here's the problem, though, is who is the suspect and why has nobody been arrested at this point? If they have some kind of information, which I think they do. I think they have, and I think I heard you say this in the background, that you believe that law enforcement has a whole lot more information than what we believe they do. Because I believe they do. I'm right there with you.
Absolutely. And I think it's just that they're building a case. They don't want to take and let their cards loose from their chest just yet until they have a solid enough case built that they can prosecute whoever's, well, number one, until they've got Sebastian and they know that he's safe, and until they can do a firm prosecution on whoever's responsible for his abduction.
Absolutely. That makes absolute sense. Yes, I agree. I'm looking over here at hold on, guys. I'm trying to read your guys' chats real quick. That's something else that's been brought up too, Linda, and talked about. And it does make perfect sense. It really does. I think that's why that was such a big deal. It is absolutely nothing but speculation, yeah. But I think at this point, people are trying to, they're really like over not knowing anything, okay? And I think that's a problem. And I think that's why so many people are speculating like they are. Well, yeah, Chris just had her for the summer. That I know. But here's the thing, though. It was brought up a while ago about these types of places here that I have up on the screen. Passages of Alaska. It's an adventure type based place that you go to, and it's to help it says it's dedicated to helping adolescents, young adults overcome challenges and work towards personal growth. It would make sense that he would be put into a place like that if he had been having struggles within school and being inappropriate in some senses, and they're trying to teach, something like that. Makes perfect sense to me. But the only thing I struggle about with this, wouldn't law enforcement know about this or need to know about this? And the whole thing, the fact that he's still listed as missing and they're still using resources to find him, is why I can't stick with this. That's the only problem I have with this. Because I can't imagine. Go ahead.
When his teachers were interviewed, they said that he was a great kid, a joy to be around. They didn't say that anything about him having any type of difficulties, especially emotional issues or anything of the such in school. Right. So I think that a lot of the issues, just my opinion, were exaggerated. I don't think he had near the issues in school as he was made out to have.
Well, and like I said the other day, I think a lot of stuff was exaggerated. When we first got into this case, you guys remember this, we looked at this, we thought basically that it was made out, at least in my opinion, to be that Sebastian was basically an invalid, that he couldn't do a whole lot of anything. He's very high functioning, obviously. We were made to believe that he couldn't change his pants by himself or brush his own teeth, you know what I mean? And that's not at all who he is. So I think there was a lot of exaggeration too. So this goes in different directions, guys, and it really does. It takes you all over the place, but I can't get past the camera with the lights, okay? I can't make myself let that go. Even though we were told it's nothing, it's a garbage truck, let it go. I can't let that go. I can't. Knowing the path that camera's facing, that's the camera it was, that's a fact. and seeing those lights the way they were, there's no way in hell that that's a garbage truck driving through somebody's backyard and you're only seeing the white lights. I looked up the trucks. We should have seen red lights for tail lights. We should have seen a beacon light because most of these trucks have them. They all run them. And we should have seen not anything like what we did. And of course, they're not going to drive through a backyard. That's a weirdo thing right there. That's a complete weird issue right there. And to be able to make anybody believe that is just like, what the hell? Okay, so then there were some things stated about the timeline that I wasn't comfortable with. And it all flows back into that whole scenario, like I said, that Chris was talking about in there. Chromosomal deletion was the danger, right? But I think he was doing okay at this point in at his age with that whole thing, Nina. It had been explained that he had grown out of some things with that, and other things, he was doing better with. So I think he was okay with that, and he wasn't on any medication with that, from my understanding. The only medication he was on, I believe, was probably ADHD medication or maybe something to sleep, and he'd be okay without that stuff. So, not to say that he's not with somebody that is giving him that. We don't know. I just don't know. And I can't let this go, guys. I haven't been able to. I sat quiet on this for a couple months, and it's like, it's driving me insane. I can't let go of the feelings I have about it. Now, there is another theory in my mind as well that goes right along with the lights, the flashlights, the car, to this. Because we do know, I started to get into it and I jumped myself over, that he had internet access, that he spent a lot of time at his father's house alone. And I don't think he was alone. I think he sat talking to people, played games, made friends.
100%.
Okay.
100%. He's left to his own devices for 10 to 12 hours at a time. You don't think he's going to go online and start talking to people?
100%. Because hell, as an adult sitting alone by myself, I get lonely, let alone a child. You know what I mean? I don't know. Risperdal is a strong med, brand new one prescribed just before he went missing. Yes, I do agree. But I don't. Well, that's true too, Mary. I know what you're saying. I'm just saying. I do believe he was online. I do believe that he had friends that he talked to online while he played his games. And I do believe that he very well could have met up with somebody that groomed him for a period of time. And that could still be the same situation, guys, that somebody pulled up there on Stafford, jumped out of the car. One kept watch. One ran over to the window and said, "Hey, we're here. Let's go." Out the door he goes. Okay. Maybe in a hurry because they said, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. That's why he didn't have no shoes on. Just saying. They jump in the vehicle and they jump and off they go. Now, the only thing I have with that is this other light that supposedly goes back towards the house. I don't know about that. But that situation is very plausible to me as well. I also think that everybody asked me, well, what about the dogs tracking to the retention pond? Listen, folks, Chris himself showed a path. There were 5 dogs. 3 of them were tracking. 3 of them tracked, 1 to the pond, and there were 2 or 3 other dogs, I think, that went in the same exact direction that the path shows. That diagonal path that shows from the back of their house towards that road at the corner where Stafford is, the same direction. Did he go down to that retention pond before, a couple days beforehand or whatever? Did they go for a walk? Did he sneak out and go over there? Or did he run down there when he got off school or something, messing around with something? And that's why his scent led there? Is that possible? Did somebody do it on purpose to throw the police off, maybe? Those are both possibilities, you guys, because people do things like that, okay? Yeah, I'm not real fond of this one either, Nina. That Uncle Taco situation is very strange to me. I don't trust that situation either. And that's a strange person. And I'm just weirded out by that whole situation. I'll be honest. That's what I mean, Alicia. He could have walked to the pond in the days before he went missing. 100%. He could have been walking the dogs, his little puppies. Walk down there, turn around, walk back. You never know. That could explain that trail right there, okay? But they also followed the diagonal path that Chris showed from their house to that car through those yards. Chris Proudfoot, I should say, talked about that in that audio we heard, and that's what they showed. And I said, I'll be damned if that's not the same exact path. So I don't know which direction to go with this. I planned on doing this the other day. I didn't get a chance to because we got wrapped up in other things. But I want to open this up to you guys to give your feelings. Arctic, of course, your thoughts on it at this point. 6 months into this, knowing everything we know, seeing the things we've seen, and your thoughts in general, and that goes for all of you guys as well. So I don't know. I'm gonna leave it to you at this point, since you're up here with me today. What are your complete thoughts on this, Arctic, as to what could have happened, what you think may have happened? This is all speculative theory, by the way, guys. None of this is fact. And as much as I don't like to speculate at this point, that's why I'm doing it. Okay, because we don't have anything and have not had anything else, is what I mean. So,
Speaking for myself, I mean, I'm skeptical of anything new that comes out. I mean, we got to look at this case. We've had fake neighbors come out. We've had fake cousins come out. We've had fake dog handlers come out. This is the case of the fakes. And so now every time I see new supposed analyzation of the video and stuff, I'm skeptical of it. I'm not saying that, Chris is wrong by any means. That's not what I'm saying, because he's got a very good track record, and I respect Chris a lot, but I'm highly skeptical of anything new that comes out, because we've had people add audio to the video that never had audio to begin with. I mean, when you've got all this shit happening, you've got to be very skeptical of anything that you see on YouTube right now.
I agree. But
my theory, and it's still my theory, is that he was lured by someone online. I think he definitely had access at Seth's. I think he probably found a way to get access at Chris and Katie's. I think it's very possible, because if you'll remember early on when we were talking about the case, the trail to the retention pond, and then there was a fence that had a section missing from the where the retention pond was. Very possible that he was lured out there and abducted.
Give access behind the cemetery, right?
Exactly. So, that's still my going theory. Now, I will say, as I said in my video that I put out about the reward, that while I definitely feel this is an abduction, that does not eliminate the possibility of a parental or familial abduction. Grandma Robin has said how Sebastian was Sebastian's confidant. Well, we don't know. Where was Grandma Robin when Sebastian went missing? Has anyone looked into her whereabouts at the time that Sebastian went missing? We want to talk about the Bowersox left and right. Let's talk about Grandma Robin. Where was she? She
100%.
Certainly inserted herself into the case. She certainly talked shit against Chris and Katie and everything else until JLR came after her like a rabid bulldog, and then she shut the fuck up. So,
absolutely. Robin has been on my list for a minute. I'll be honest with you. Just because, like I said, she appeared out of nowhere, guys. She had no relationship. I went back and looked on purpose. There was not. The only picture I found of Sebastian on her Facebook page was his missing picture. There were no pictures of her own child on there that I saw. Seth, hold on a minute. Sorry, my dog's going nuts because my wife just walked in the door. Anyway.
Well, and Paul, I'm not saying it is Robin. I'm just saying she's someone that we have to look at. Because she did come out of nowhere. Just like Jody Sue Brown in the Summer Wells case. That bitch came out of the fucking woodwork like a goddamn cockroach, and then her son was involved in looking at little girls through bedroom windows. You have to look at her as a suspect in Summer's abduction.
100%. I do absolutely agree. She's very sus to me in that case, for sure. That's another good point, Cap. That's a very good point. If he was abducted, why didn't he disappear from Seth's house? Well, if it was somebody that he met online, that if it was grooming or any of that stuff, Well, I think it's because of where he was at the time. At that point, he was at his mom's house. So, but it is still a good question. It really is. I did open the panel. If you want to join us up here, speak on it, put your opinions out, your feelings out. Let's talk about it, guys. I love to hear everybody's theories and opinions because that's what this is about today. And that's all. Again, none of it is factual information, of course, because we don't have that yet. But based on the factual information we do have, people are building speculative theories on that. And that's, I think, what a lot of people are trying to do is figure out what could have happened with him. What's one of the big deals that Arctic brought up. I did a couple weeks of coverage on this and investigation on it, where behind the retention pond, like he said, there was a piece of that fencing that was knocked down and gave access to a back entrance to that area. And somebody could have met him there or came in that direction, grabbed him and took off that way without being seen by the other cameras that are in that area. So that was a whole other situation that I looked at, was like, that's very plausible to me too. Welcome, Tim. Problem with the devices is the police have them, and it would be easy for them to check on anyone that Sebastian had been talking online. So devices would have been given back. Not all of them have been given back. That's the problem, Tim. There is still a Chromebook and a Nintendo Switch that have not been given back at this point, from what we've all been, from everything that's been told to us. And at that point, why are they holding on to those devices? If they're giving everything else back and they're just keeping those two, that tells me there's something there. Okay. So if he was doing most of his online gaming from Seth's house, Doodle, it just sounds more plausible to take him from Seth's. No, I get it. Let's catch up here.
Well, now, Paula, that's also a good point. And you know what? Law enforcement has not come out and said if they've looked into all the sex offenders' houses and stuff. And I know that there was at least one house over there by Bobby's house. I think the one next door to Bobby's. When you go and you Google the address on Google Earth, you can't see the house. It's completely blanked out. And so that's always bothered me for quite a bit too.
That is very true. Hold on a minute here. Let me see something here. Okay. All right, here we are. 1008 Stafford Court. That's the Proudfoot home. I did this a couple days ago. Now let's go this direction here real quick first, guys. I'm going to show you what he's talking about. Now this, in my scenario, well, the one scenario that Chris is talking about, it's not mine. It's something I've thought about, but he made it clear. This is where this car supposedly parked right here, for those of you that weren't here the other day. This is the route that was taken back here through this area for the abduction possibility, okay? Now, with what Arctic's talking about is if you go this direction here, and I'm pretty sure I'm correct on this. If I'm wrong, I will be corrected. Well, there's another house that's blurred out too right there, Arctic.
Yeah.
That one right there is blurred out, which is the one that's right, the backyard right here. If you go on, I think maybe it's on the other side of it. You're right at the Proudfoot's back door. There's the fencing right there, but I think it's the house before that anyway. Yeah, it is. Hold on. Anyway, if we go up this hill, okay, and I'm pretty sure I'm right, because the retention pond is right on the other side of Bobby's house, from my understanding. And I might have the house wrong, but I was made to understand that this is Bobby's house right here on this corner. Okay. Hold on. Let me get up too closer. Right here. That was where she lived at. Now, my understanding was at this point, when this went down, at least, this is an old picture, of course, that this is where the retention pond was, because they were doing construction. And I wasn't even sure at that point, because I thought it might have been over here, but then this road was here. And then when I was on the map talking with Clue and them, they said, no, it's back there. So that's where Bobby lives, supposedly, okay, is there. Pond was here. And just so you guys know, the Uber that was picking up the people go to the airport was right here. I think I think it's either this or this house here. This is Devon Court. So just so everybody knows where everything was. What were you saying about being near Bobby's house or something, Arctic?
Well, I believe that that house that's blurred that you can't see is fairly close to where Bobby lives.
Right
If you
here.
go back up there, it is right there. So
Yep, that one there. And there is RSO right here, guys. There's a couple that we found. Salty was looking for them, and she was pretty dead set on them. That there's, I think, 2 RSOs that are back here. And I think Clue even came bound through here. We're looking at one night too. But this one, I think this might be one of them right there for sure. And they supposedly looked into him. I don't know what came out of this, but look how close it is. It's right down the road, you know? And it's literally, let me see. I don't know why I always do that. I think I only need to come to here. And if you turn and look, yeah, that other one's blurred there. I don't know if that's another one, but it's blurred. But right here, you guys, that's the Proudfoot's back door. That's the fencing right there. If you were to go up here and come out, there's, this room right here is Space Room. The room in front of it is Sebastian's. The front door is there. You come out and around down this fence line, cut across this yard, like Chris had said. Hold on. I don't know what I'm doing here. Right through this backyard area, and you end up right down here at this car. I can't get past it. There's the camera, by the way, that filmed it all right there. And it was weird, too, because, mind you, you guys, this camera right here, from my understanding, wasn't working that night either. There's a few cameras that didn't work right, and I'm telling you it was done on purpose. I can't not believe that it wasn't. So they're saying all these houses were checked, yes. Were they? For sure. I don't know, but I'm just going to take their word on it because that's what we're supposed to do. I believe it was.
Like I said, yes, CD, Jaded, they very well may have been checked. It's just something that we're putting out there. Yes, I know anyone can blur their house on Google, but how often does a child go missing from a neighborhood and 2 houses in that neighborhood are blurred? I haven't seen it very often.
And they did check the houses. That's true. I'm sure they've checked everything. I'm sure they checked the RSOs in the area. I'm sure they did all that. Here's the thing, you guys. They can check whatever they want to check. And if somebody wants to hide something, it's not hard to do.
I mean, I'll tell you this. I was working with the parents on a case of a missing child in Ohio. Police went to the house where the child was at. They searched the house. They missed the child. The child was hidden between a mattress and box springs inside that house, and they never saw the child. They went in there and searched.
That still blows my mind. That's a very true scenario, you guys. You can miss anything. Somebody could have a wine cellar in their basement that has a false wall built that you wouldn't know is there. Here's another thing. Just because somebody lives in that house, took him, doesn't mean he's in that house. Could be taken somewhere else. Okay? You got to think about all these things that goes along with this because it's very conceivable and possible that happened. There's people that have, especially, and look at these houses, you guys. Look at these houses. These aren't cheap houses, and you got to have some money in some senses to live here. Can you imagine what the insides of these houses can look like? It's very easy to hide people, you guys, and you know that. There's cubbies in different places that, as long as nobody's making it sound, you can hide them. False walls that you don't know exist. I've seen a lot of houses that I've been in, being in the fire field, that have walls that you don't even think there's anything behind it. It's a whole room. No lie. I've seen that. So you just don't.
A lot of the newer houses, I don't know about Tennessee, but I know here in Arkansas, a lot of the newer houses are being built with safe rooms that have, false doors so that you can go in there and hide from the tornadoes and stuff.
Absolutely. And for instance, let me show you something real quick. And I know it was checked. I heard it on the audio. That doesn't mean. Let me see. There's a door right here, you guys. Okay. And I know it's access to under the house for plumbing, electrical, this, that, and everything else. You don't know what else is under there, or could have been, not saying with their house specifically, but in somebody's house. But a lot of these houses have these doors, and I'm sure they've checked it. I heard them say they checked it. In this house, and I'm sure a couple others, but you don't know what that is. There's people that could build false basements under their house, storm cellars, and you don't know they're there. I've seen that happen too. Okay, Molly, hold on. Yeah, that's actually what she's showing me. That door right there. Okay, it's a tiny little man door that gives access to the bottom of the house. Just saying. So there's a lot of options, you guys, at this point, and we have not had anything, nothing. It's driving me nuts. It is literally driving me nuts. I can't stop thinking about it. Okay. Everybody that knows me that's been here knows how close this case is to my heart, due to my own child, due to the time I put into it, the time that we've all put into this. Okay. But
And
as soon
guys,
as
the thing that you all have to remember is that people like Dago and I, we're just spitballing. We're not accusing anyone of anything. We're just throwing out different ideas, different things that we think could have happened. Because at the end of the day, we're not law enforcement. We're not private investigators. We're just people sitting in front of a computer on YouTube, giving our thoughts based on our years of looking at these cases.
and the fact that we care, that's all it is. That's absolutely right. Thank you for saying that. Just as much as you guys are in here doing the same thing, the thoughts you've had, the things you looked at, the little notes that you take down on, it's the same shit, guys. This is what we do. It starts off as a hobby, becomes something we do, and because we care, this is where we're at with it. I want him to be found just as much as everybody else on this country wants him to be found, and I want him to be happy and safe and healthy, and for this case to be over with and move on, you guys. And that's thank you, Callie. That's why we don't harass people. We don't accuse people. We don't any of that, guys. We just want to know where Sebastian is. And I want to see him smile again. Go ahead, bud. Sorry.
When my friend Checking Convictions was alive, we used to do a weekly roundtable of creators and a think tank on the cases that were going on. I'd really like to see a panel of creators come together like that again and do a weekly think tank on these different cases to where we can have a civilized conversation, not accuse parents of anything, but give our thoughts on possibilities that may have happened in these cases.
Let's do it, bro. I'm down. I'm 100% down for that. I love doing roundtable conversations. I think it helps in a lot of ways. It lets the public see what everybody's thoughts are in different aspects, especially the creators, and it gives us each other, a little bit of different feelings and thoughts on different things to go with in our minds. I think it's a great idea. I really do. I'm 100% down. If we can get together a group to do it, I'm right there with you. Promise you. This house was said to have one in Sebastian's room by an attorney. On another channel, she said she recognized it when showing the room. Having one what, Terry? I'm a little lost. I'm sorry. Oh, a safe room? I don't know about that. I did a whole virtual walkthrough of the house, and I didn't see anything shown. I imagine that now I will say this because I've seen some of these houses doing fire inspections. Okay. I used to do that with the inspector. We used to go through and do this and that. Now this is in Ohio, but a lot of the houses are built the same. We have a lot of houses on slabs. We do have houses with basements, but the newer houses that are being built is what I'm referring to. They've built safe rooms. They've built storm cellars now. And there's, like I said, houses we've seen with false walls, because what you do in an inspection is you look at a blueprint of a house. We have to see it. That's part of the thing. You have to see it. And then when we're looking for something, as you're going through a house, you're like, where's this room at? Because I don't see it. Well, then they're like, well, this is kind of my safe room where I hide all my belongings that are worth money, and it's blah, blah, that kind of thing. And there's a lot of people that are building safe rooms now, panic rooms, I guess you want to call it, in case somebody were to break into their home. That's a factual thing now. I didn't realize it was such a big deal, but it really is. But anyway, we would go through and look at all these different areas and different rooms and stuff like that. And there's rooms that are built that can hold a whole family, that you can lock from the inside, that nobody can get to you. They're built with steel balls.
Absolutely. And I've also seen cases, I can't remember the case right now, but there was a case where 2 children went missing, and they had searched the house numerous times, law enforcement had, and they were found eventually in a hidden compartment underneath the staircase.
Yep. And I've also seen a case where there were kids that went missing that hid. They were playing hide and seek or something, and they got into the walls of a very old house and couldn't get back out. And the walls were soundproofed, so you couldn't hear the kids yelling per se until I think one of them went through the wall to a point where they got close to something that wasn't soundproof and started screaming. And that's how they found these kids 2 days later. But it was a monster size. It was like a mansion type house. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, that's scary as hell, you know? But I don't know how it was. They got into the walls, but couldn't get back out. It was weird. It was a whole story that I read. It was crazy. T Niece, welcome. If a safe room was built after the house was, Ellie needs a structural engineer to look at potential areas. And yes, absolutely. And one of the big things with the fire department is when they do fire inspections, you have to, it's just illegal to not. You have to show everything that has been built into that structure. There's a lot of people that didn't want to show their safe rooms or didn't want to show the false walls and the secret rooms and things like that. You have to show it, because if it's not rated under the inspection process and it has enough fire extinguishers or smoke detectors, it still has to be, it's part of that house that has to fall into that description. So they have to show it. And that's why we had to look at blueprints. That's part of the whole thing. And then they walk you through the house and say, okay, here's my son's room. Here's this room. Here's that room. Well, you need a smoke detector here. You should have at least a fire extinguisher here, blah, blah, blah. Because a lot of these houses are huge like this. Where's this at? We didn't see that room. Well, okay. What is this? Well, that's kind of my own private little room. Well, for what? Well, just because I keep my trophies in there or my jewelry in there. You know what I mean? Something like, okay, well, where's that at? We need to see that. Okay. And it looks like the wall. And they push on the wall, and guess what? The door opens. It's crazy. I've seen it, guys. And there it is. And I'm not saying that that's what this is. I'm saying that it's not beyond possibility is all I'm saying. But thank you, T Niece, for that. I agree. Hey, Barbara. Good to see you, Miss Barbara. Where are we at here? Just checking the chat, guys. Checking the chat. Again, if there's anybody that wants to jump up here and voice their opinion on this, the link is pinned in the chat. I'm sure I'd love to, as long as you're logical and you're not attacking anybody specifically or the victim, of course. 100% want to hear what you got to say. Hello, Miss Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us today. Well, it's 6:30 this evening. Sorry. I'm looking at, I don't see anything in chat. Musical Contessa, welcome to you. Bookshelves that move, 100%. I've seen those too. That happens everywhere. That's a big thing here. We have a lot of these very old. Go ahead.
Here in Arkansas, we've got a lot of old houses, and there you got to even look for like the dumbwaiters and stuff that no one even thinks to look into, when they're searching for someone.
That's actually where I was headed with that, because we have some old mansions in the town that I grew up in of the people that were built by the people that started the town. And that's what I'm saying. They got dumbwaiters. They got hidden back staircases. There's one house that I don't know how true it is, but we had people like John Dillinger that used to come through the town I grew up in. They said it was Capone's place that he stayed in. There's a couple hotels in the downtown area that we stayed in, and they're saying that there's a couple places that he would stay that have false walls and hidden rooms for him to hide in when the police would raid the places. Well, there's a lot of houses here like that are built in like the 1890s, 1900s that are beautiful houses. But so, yeah, there's a lot of that stuff. I'm not saying that's what this is, you guys. Again, I'm just telling you, I've seen things like this. If a person in chat saw it from a picture inside of the room, I would hope Ellie was able to find it and check it out. Well, yeah, of course. But if you go to somebody's house, let's say that somebody has set this whole situation up, which has happened before, premeditated everything. And I've even seen and read stories where people have built rooms into their homes to play this game, to keep somebody Ariel Castro in Cleveland, he built a whole situation up in his basement to hold the 3 girls that he held there for 10 years, you guys. That's exactly what he did. Okay. And you didn't have access to that unless you did what he had to do to get down there. Just saying, people are nuts. They do weird things. They do crazy things. And I don't put anything past anybody at this point. So,
What's that girl's name? I can't remember right now because my memory's just shot to shit. But Dugard, she was found just in that same neighborhood that she went missing from, wasn't she?
yes.
And I'm sure they had checked that neighborhood several times. So
Yeah,
it's not to say that it can't happen.
It absolutely is. For instance, the girls, Amanda Berry and their 2 other girls, they went missing that Ariel Castro had. There were other people, including this man's daughter, that were inside that house and had no idea that he had 3 girls being held prisoner in the basement. It happens, There's a lot of, what the hell is Dugard's first name? Damn it.
JC.
Thank you. Or the other one that has been referenced, I don't know how many times, that she was literally in the basement watching them and listening for them to search for her. Is that the same one, or is that the other situation? The little girl that they had her wrapped in like Middle Eastern clothing and nobody knew who she was, but she was right in front of their faces.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I don't think that was JC Dugard though. That was another case.
It wasn't. I know who it was. Come on, you guys. You guys are usually really good for this. Come on. They were right there. And she was just dressed in a Middle Eastern type attire.
Elizabeth Smart. Elizabeth Smart.
There we go.
Yeah, Elizabeth Smart is the one that got pregnant Barbara, I think. I don't think it was JC Dugard. I think it was Elizabeth Smart.
Yeah. But anyway, Elizabeth was there listening for them. She could hear them yelling for her, looking for her. Couldn't say a word. It was crazy. But these people do crazy things. If this was a grooming, predatorial type situation, people do what they do. It's horrible, but it's true. Okay. If it was a family situation, a familial situation, people do drastic things to get what they want. If it was, either trying to protect Sebastian, trying to hide Sebastian, trying to hurt somebody else, it could be any one of those things. We don't know. But
just remember the Michael and Sophie Long situation. Michael knew exactly where Sophie was. Was responsible for it. And just like Seth had grifted off of the case quite a bit, attacked the other parent and everything else. So, that's
Same
only
thing.
stuck in the back of my mind too.
Yes, sir. Very much so. Very much so. And a lot of times, some of these situations mock each other. And you got to understand, like some of those people that do these things, they're just like us, and they watch these things go on. They know how these things have happened. A lot of people, I can't remember whose story it was, but they watched something else. JC got pregnant. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Terry. But I can't remember. There was another case that I had heard where they watched a whole situation like this unfold online for, I think, a couple years. And then they went and did their own thing. I can't think of who that was, based on what they watched on the internet or on a crime show. It was a crime show. Sorry. Oh, okay. I see. I thought you were talking to me. But anyway, it takes all kinds, you guys, and all kinds of situations definitely do happen. So don't put it past anything for it to be what it is all I'm saying. Even after I had thought about all the other parts, I still think it's an internal kidnapping, and that's okay. I respect your opinion, Siggy. I absolutely do.
Yeah, absolutely. I've gone from the whole abducted by a predator online to the internal kidnapping situation several times, although I'm more focused on Seth than I am the Proudfits. If it was an internal kidnapping, I'm not saying anyone had anything to do with it, but I would not be surprised if Sebastian turned up on his 18th birthday. I just really would not be surprised.
I'm right there with you. And then once he's 18, you don't got to protect him anymore. Well, in that mindset, but yeah, 100%. 100%. That makes absolute sense to me. It really does. I would like to think that they would get to him before that. Law enforcement, FBI, CIA, whoever, not CIA, Secret Service, sorry, would get to him before that, but we never know. Now, there's also something else, guys, I had to come to terms with about 3 months ago that really bugs me, but you got to stay in reality and base theory on reality, guys. And there's a possible fact that he may not be with us any longer. That's reality. Okay. I'm not saying that that's what I believe and what I want to happen, but we got to stay based in reality in some senses as well, because it is a slight possibility. Okay. Sadly, but it's true. It could be true. And I do too, Miss Barbara. God, I do. It's going to break my heart if we come to find out that he's deceased. That's going to kill me. I'll tell you right out front and up front. And I'm really saddened.
The scenario where I see that he's deceased is if it wasn't an abduction. He did go out of the house voluntarily. He went out and went past the search area into those woods. And as overgrown as it is right now, they'll never find him until all that vegetation dies out and they can search some more with a drone. That's the only scenario that I see where he's not with us any longer. Because I don't believe that any of his parents put an end to his life.
No. That's something I'll tell you right now is definitely not a possibility in my mind. I don't think either one of the three of them hurt him physically. I just don't. And I know that there's people that feel that way, and I respect your feelings. I'm just saying I don't. And I think Arctic's right. When we go through fall this year and hit winter again, and I know in Tennessee, if he's in that area in Tennessee, it doesn't get like it does here. Joe Schmo, what's happening, sir? And the leaves fall off the trees or whatever happens. I don't know exactly how Tennessee's fall hits and winter hits, but still, like Arctic said, if they run drone coverage again, that may be when they find him if he's out there. If he did walk out of the house on his own and got lost somewhere or stuck somewhere, that's what I think will happen with that. I don't want to see that happen. I would like some closure, yes, but I don't want to see that happen. I still have in my gut that gut feeling that he's with somebody and he's okay. I can't let go of that. And I'll tell you guys, I'll be honest, with the other kids that we covered, the autistic children, the one Ryan, I can never say his last name right. How do you guys say that? Abauska or something like that. The little boy. I think they were Haitian maybe or something like that. Anyway, he was autistic as well. Went missing in a t-shirt and in his underwear. He was found the next day in the lake. Okay. Abuski, something like that. Thank you, Doodle. Anyway, in my mind and in my stomach, I kind of felt like he was gone. There's a couple other I felt the same way about. You get that weird feeling. Not with this one. I have not.
Every time I cover a younger autistic child and there's bodies of water nearby, I get that feeling in the pit of my stomach. And I just made a community post about how important it is for parents to be aware of the dangers of waterways near their autistic children, because that is a scenario that we have seen unfold over and over and over again. And I, for one, am tired of putting cases out only for them to be found drowned in lakes and waterways.
100%. I just said the same thing. Over the past 2 months, we have covered so many. We had the little boy that walked away from his birthday party. They found him the next day, I think it was, or something like that, a half a mile down the road in the creek, deceased. Ryan, we just had that. The next day, they found him deceased in the lake. One before that, they found in the water in the lake. I'm sick of seeing it. I put the case out 24 hours later, the child's dead. Enough already. It's very heartbreaking. And it eats on you guys. I'm telling you, you guys know this. I know Arctic knows this. It eats on you. It eats you alive. There needs to be something done about that stuff too. And I'm not downing parents that have lost a child, guys, but come on. If you know that you have a child that, first of all, is nonverbal, they don't do things like a normal child would. You know, they like to be a little escape artists, and they're directly attracted to that water. You've had to have experiences in the past with this. Make some arrangements. There's so many resources out there that will help you do these things if you can't afford it. Put alarms on your doors and windows. Pay attention to your child. I'm not saying these parents didn't. I'm just saying in that sense, make sure you're watching them. I sat on my child until he became 15 years old to make sure he was doing the right things, because he was always wanting to get out, guys. It's part of their thing. You got to watch them. You got to sit on them. You got to keep them safe, period. It's just, I'm tired of talking about them, guys. It's so much. So anyway,
I know that they used heat-seeking drones in Sebastian's case because that mannequin inexplicably showed up on one of the heat-seeking drones. So
yes, it did. Yes, it did. Yeah. Wait, what's that there? 15 though, and fully aware of dangers of water. He is. Yeah, I don't think he's in the water anywhere. I've never had that feeling because he's very good at swimming and some other things too, but I don't think he's in water. I don't think Sebastian is. That's another thing. I've just never felt like he's deceased, you guys. I can't. I'm staying in my head like it's possible, but I just don't feel like he is. Even if Sebastian resurfaced at 18, the courts will probably insist on legal guardian and manager to get. Well, depending on how well he does, yeah. That's something I'm doing with Caden, because you're just not old enough to make good decisions yet, They need divers to search Cumberland River around the Omohundro water treatment. Okay, thank you, Rachel. I don't know anything about that. Was that close to where he lived, Rachel? And if it is, I gotta wonder if they did already. Hold on a minute. Remember, yes, Joe Schmo. It's good to see you, Joe. I'm glad you joined us today, sir. All right, guys. Arctic, do you mind hanging on for 1 second? I'm gonna grab my coffee real quick.
oh, no problem. Yeah, Doodlebug, I agree with you 100%. If you need a damn beeper to tell you to check for your damn kid, you don't need to have any goddamn kids. I look all around for my damn phone before I leave the car. I promise you, I would never leave my kid in a hot car. No. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that just need to be sterilized at birth, in my opinion, and covering these cases tells me exactly who they are. Let's see. And there's been several kids already die in hot cars this year, unfortunately. I mean, it's pathetic that we need to start putting beepers on cars to remind us to look for our kids. Oh, I agree. I agree, Jaded. It's incredibly stupid. I mean, they're our most prized possession. I can't imagine how you would forget your child in the back seat of a car. And I don't like the parents that leave the kids in the car even with the window cracked, even if they're just running into the store for 5 minutes. You know how many times I've seen kids abducted because the kid was left in the car with it running and the mother ran in for 5 minutes to go get milk or whatever and comes back out and the car's stolen and the kid is gone. It's absolutely insane that in today's day and age, knowing the dangers that are out there, that people are still so stupid that they don't take better care of their kids like that. It's insane. I mean, I don't know. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and my parents were extremely overprotective, though. I mean, I couldn't get away with anything. My grandma owned the 7-Eleven here in town, and before I could make it home, my parents knew everything that I had done if I had done something wrong. So, I mean, I can remember one time I was out working on a project with the gifted and talented class, and I had told my parents where I was going to be, but I was gone for several hours. I didn't get home until like 11 o'clock at night. And this is before the days of cell phones. So I didn't call my dad. When I came home, let me tell you something. That man was waiting at the front door for me. It ordered me to hand over my keys, and I was grounded for a month. I couldn't go anywhere. So, yeah, I mean, and there, you know what? At that time, it pissed me off. But now, I have a whole new respect for him being as strict as he was, because you know what? You can't take any chances with your children, especially not today. And people like to say that abductions and stuff and violence against kids is greater now. Well, yeah, of course, because we didn't have the online threats when we were that age. But as far as abductions goes, I think it's more of a case where we didn't see it as much because there wasn't the internet. We didn't have YouTube putting all these cases in front of our face every single day like we do now. So, oh, Crazy Linda, you and me both. I've already busted out one window for a kid that was left in a car. So, yeah, I have no problem with that at all. Oh, yeah. I mean, once you become an adult and you have kids or even nephews or whatever, you find a whole new respect for how your parents were when you were a kid, because it changes things completely. Yeah, I mean, but like I said, Sebastian's case, I have gone all over the place with that case. At this point, I definitely feel like it was an abduction. I can't say for certain that it was a familial abduction or a parental abduction at this point, though. I'm not 100% set on that. And the way that FBI flyer reads, I don't think they feel like it was a parental or familial abduction. But again, law enforcement has kind of, they're trying to be sneaky with some of the information that they're putting out. They're trying to not put a lot of breadcrumbs out for people. And I get it, especially when you've got people like Bullshit Betty out there putting out all kinds of wild fucking ass theories and shit and violating restraining orders and everything else. Yeah, I get why they're hesitant to put a lot of information out. Although I do feel like it would help shut some of the shit up if they would put a little bit out.
I have to agree. At least come out and say something. Tell people, hey, this is what we're looking at, where we're at. We don't have anything, but this is what's going on. And I think it would. I agree with you. It would shut a lot of things up with some people. That's just my opinion, though. I'm just saying. Let me see here. Yeah, there's a couple things they've said on this flyer. This is the new FBI. First off, I love the picture. That's a great picture of him. Something down here, guys, in remarks. Rogers has ties to Clarksville, Tennessee. That was new, and it was interesting. Why did they focus on that to put that in there? I don't know, but it's interesting. And then there was something else they put in here, too, that I thought was interesting. Hold on a minute. It doesn't take long, hon. All right. So I'm just saying, but yeah, guys, that's the new FBI poster. It shows he's got ties to Clarksville. It gives the same thing. It added a new picture. And that way you see Sebastian in different form, okay, other than just this here. And you get a better look at his face, in my opinion. In some senses, he almost looks like two different people here. You know what I mean? He's got a darker hair color in the other picture. The glasses look different. And his smile looks a little different to me. So it's good that they put that picture in as well, in my opinion, of course. So they're being very meticulous. They know what they are doing, but I feel something on it. I kind of do too now. And what do you think of that? Actually, Arctic, I was going to ask you that too. Good to see you, Lori, and Music City Mom. Thank you for joining us. Now that the FBI has kind of taken the lead in a sense on this, and they put this out and they've done what they've done, do you think that I feel like it's possible, but I don't want to be too overzealous, but do you think something may pop on this relatively soon at this point?
I think that it's only a matter of time before they do come forward with a little bit more information. I don't think they'll put everything out. No. I do think that if someone out there knows something with that 50 grand reward on the table, they're definitely going to step forward. And I think, but I honestly think this is just a kind of, and I hate saying this, I think it's a PR stunt by the FBI to entice someone to come forward. I think they already have a
Yes,
suspect
sir.
in mind, but they're trying to get people to come forward because the more evidence they have, the better the case is.
Yep. I think exactly the same thing. That's crazy. I agree with you. Nina's saying yes. Yeah, I agree. And I think that they know how to work this kind of stuff. You know, they have their behavioral analysis unit that looks into this kind of stuff. And how can we get somebody to pop forward on this? How can we get somebody to come out with this? Throw money at them. 50,000 is a lot of money, guys. I'll be honest with you. That's one of the largest rewards I've ever seen offered via the FBI. I've looked at a few, and that's big. That which tells me I think they're almost positively guaranteed that they have somebody that's going to come running for that in a sense. You know what I mean? Just saying. No problem, bud. Who is that? Liza Rowe. Hey. Yeah, 50K. The FBI knows something I had never seen. That's exactly the same thing I said too. Thank you, Liza. Good point. It's great to see you, by the way. Scarlett, hello and welcome. What did Scarlett say? Chris is gonna going live at 7:15. Okay, that's fine. I'll probably have to rewatch it because I have my paranormal show for tonight, Scarlett. But I'm about to end this here anyway. So I just wanted to have conversation about this today, guys, because it won't leave me alone. I go to sleep thinking about it. I wake up in the morning thinking about it. I've been watching religiously everything Chris has talked about and seeing if there's anything else that leads to that. Caleb's was 50. But like I said, yeah, but what I'm saying is there's very few rewards that get that high. Okay. Chris from Mob Crew, Teresa. Welcome. Good to see you. Mr. Joe, I'm not a fan of the FBI trying to play 3D chess. It didn't work in Delphi. If only they had played checkers, i.e. follow up on initial IDNR interview with RA and Odinus. Yes. Good point, sir. Good point. Very good point. By the way, Joe, I need to get with you to get I want to hook up with you on the Discord so that we're able to communicate about cases and stuff like that, because I have no way to communicate with you at this point. So if you want to email me your link, or if you're okay with that, by the way, if you want to email me your link for the Discord, we can or vice versa, and that way we could hook up and be able to communicate. That's completely up to you, of course, but I would like to be able to do that. Welcome, Time Traveler. Good to see you. Too big for a runaway case. I agree. This is definitely an abduction. I do it here, Time Traveler. It's just same show, same channel. I'm sorry. Just we go into one day a week. We do a paranormal thing Friday nights. That's all. Tonight we're going to be covering, for those of you that may be interested, this is the blurred out house. Oh, thank you, Molly. Sebastian's home. There's okay. Good point. Yeah, she's showing me some pictures of the blurred out house. If you guys can see that, that's it. Thank you, Molly. Musical Contessa. Such interesting cases. Sad. Yeah, they're all very sad. I agree. Chandler Bing, my cat. Aw, Elizabeth, I'm sorry. No, it's quite all right. I understand. Listen, guys, our fur babies are our babies too. I told you guys. I've showed you guys. People think I'm nuts. Some people think I'm nuts. This is my little Oscar. Okay. He died not this May, but the May before. We cremated him, and each one of my children has one of these, a little bit of him. And my wife has a necklace that has a little bit of him in it. We had him for 18 years. They're part of your family, guys. There's just no apologies, you shouldn't even question, anybody's feelings on it. So absolutely, thoughts and prayers for Chandler Bing. And if you all could do that, we got you, Elizabeth. I understand completely, dear. Oh yeah, on Friday nights, Time Traveler, we'd cover paranormal stuff just to get off of this realm of PTSD, I call it, that we deal with in here, because there's a lot of crap we deal with, guys. We really do. It's saddening. It's disheartening. It'll give you a lot of bad feelings. You know what I mean? And so you got to take a break from it from time to time. So this is another one. It's showing Sebastian's home. There's the ditch that direction. So this is the flashlight path, basically. Okay. Good picture, Molly. Good picture. This is the back of the blurred out home. And then that's Sebastian's home over this way. There's the ditch. This again is the path that those flashlights are taking coming this way at night. So good stuff, Molly. Thank you. Great job. And of course, this is the back of the Proudfoot home. Right there's their back deck. And then he would have came down along this fence, and that light, you see that light popping out from behind this bush right here. If you can see my cursor, maybe hold on a minute. I have to show you first. Probably should share it, right? Jesus, I'm acting like this was already shared. Sorry, guys. So this is the back of the Proudfoot home. When you're looking at that video that Chris puts out, you see that light pop out over here. It comes from right here, which is the same direction that the dogs tracked this way, and that they believe Sebastian walked when he walked out that door. They're saying right that way. So again, it all kind of falls into place in that sense. Anyway, I was trying to tell you guys that tonight I will be anyway, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Fire in the Sky. It's the Travis Walton story. It's about him being abducted by aliens. It's one of the truest stories that I've ever seen based on the things that he tells in the story. So we're going to be looking into that, the true story behind that movie, Fire in the Sky, and the Travis Walton story and stuff like that. And like I said, guys, it's a little bit of fun compared to what we do. We jump out of this for one night to take a little breather, decompress, look at something different that people find interesting, the paranormal stuff, whether it be aliens or cryptids or ghosts or some of the conspiracy theory stuff, the Matrix crap. We just look into some of that stuff. That's all. So, and it's just to take a break from this, because this will tear you apart quick if you don't take a break. It really does.
Drains you.
Yeah, it eats you from the inside out. I do music streams sometimes to kind of lighten everybody up after a bad week or, a bad couple weeks, just to give you guys a little bit of something different. But you got to imagine sitting here and looking at this and talking about this and thinking about this again and again and again, a missing child, another missing child, another missing child, another missing child, dead child, another dead child. It eats you alive. You got to take a break. And that goes for anybody else that's out there that's creating, or even the community members that are watching it. It will hurt after a while, guys. It does. You can say, I'm tough. I can handle it. I'm strong. So am I. So is Arctic. So are all these huge channels that do this. They all take decompression breaks, folks. You have to. It's just.
I learned my lesson the hard way. I went a year without taking any type of break at all. Ended up having a couple of mini strokes. So I come back. And I was like, oh, I'm going to do better. I'm only going to do a couple videos a day. Well, I went back full blast at it. And you know what? A week ago, I was in the hospital because I had a minor heart attack. So you do have to take decompression breaks. So you will kill yourself if you don't.
Yep. Mom does the same thing. She talks about it. She supports my decompression breaks, as does Arctic has. Dude, seriously, I don't want to hear you say that again. I didn't know about the first two instances. Come on now. Enough. Take care of yourself, bro. We like you out here. I'm just telling you. And that goes for all of you. I know you guys are drawn into this because you want to help. I know you're drawn into it because it's interesting. You can get too drawn into it and get stuck in it, you guys, and it's not worth it. What good are you doing if you're not here? You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, and a lot of us have things outside of YouTube that we work on too, either working with various organizations or, I've worked with the Aware Foundation. I also have my own business on the side. So, I mean, this isn't my only gig. So.
And you also have personal things, with your family and stuff like that you deal with every day. So you definitely got to take them breaks, brother. 100%. Just like Andy said, we love you and we need you to take it easy. We need you around because Arctic is a huge advocate, you guys. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen you cover anything but missing stories, and that's amazing. You know, I do a little bit of everything. I try to, at least. But
Oh,
that's
I
what he does.
occasionally cover stuff like a bus driver that got busted for assaulting a kid on a bus or something like that. But my primary focus is missing kids, because that's what has touched me personally. My best friend, uh, one of my best friends when I was younger, went missing and ended up unfortunately no longer with us. So.
Mhm.
You know, and that's why I'm such an advocate for these families and say, you know what, until all the facts come out, keep your mouth shut, because you don't know, you know.
Yeah. Yep, that's true. No, that's facts, and that makes sense. That makes absolute sense. What is this here? I just saw the red alert for Naomi and Kailani Perez taken from school 8/26/24 by non-custodial dad in Tulsa. Opened my eyes to the 1921 Tulsa race massacre. Oh, okay. By the way, welcome, Rachel. I didn't even see that one. Naomi and Kailani Perez taken from school in Oklahoma. I never heard that yet.
It's
Interesting.
posted to my community wall.
Okay, I'll have to go look at it. I'm guilty of not looking at that stuff sometimes because I got so much stuff of my own going on. But yeah, I will go check it out. You guys need to go look at that as well. Everything you can, check it out on his channel, guys, because it's all great stuff. It really is. Miss Barbara in here, this awesome lady right here, has a horrific story in a case with that handsome young man on her little icon there, Timmy, her son Timmy D's. We covered that. Arctic has been helping Miss Barbara from the very beginning with this in every way and aspect that you can. So Arctic Box True Crime is an amazing channel, amazing creator, an amazing human being with an amazing soul. And we love you, brother, and appreciate everything you do, just so you know that. Who do we got? Doodle said, did you put something else out, Doodle? Haven't heard that one. Scarlet. Okay, I see what you're talking about now. Yeah, Dolly had a heart attack too, you guys, and it wasn't just a little mini one. And that's, you know, like I said, we may not always agree with everybody, but we're all here doing the same type thing, okay? And I don't wish anything bad on anyone, whether we agree or disagree. I'm just saying everybody needs to take a break. It's serious.
I can agree with that. There's a couple of exceptions out there. I mean, as much as I just test Dolly, I don't want him to die or anything. But
That's what I mean.
you know,
Yeah,
if they locked up Bill Horn Betty for the rest of her life, I'd be okay with that. So,
and that's what you know. I don't wish death on anyone or anything, but certain people, yeah, I would love to see some people locked up forever. That I agree with. I like how you put that, because she don't need to be out here doing any of this, in my opinion. She is a joke, and she causes more drama than she prevents, and then sits and talks about I don't like drama. You are the drama. So the missing Oklahoma girl. Okay, thank you. Yeah, okay. So I think that's going to do it. It was a good conversation. I really appreciate you joining me, Arctic. I always enjoy having you up here.
anytime. I do need to talk with you in the background a little bit after we get off of here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I got some time yet. That's 100%. But yeah, if you just want to hang on when I end everything, just hang on for a minute and we'll be good. I think that's going to do it for today, because I have to do a few things after this, and then I'll be setting up for the other show later. And it's already 7:10. I didn't realize it went that long. But again, Arctic, I appreciate you jumping up here. What was her name? Laura. I appreciate you bringing that info to us so that we can help to try to put that out and make a difference here. The rest of you guys in chat, you guys know you're amazing. I appreciate you guys showing up for this 100% and supporting the channel the way that you do. Blue Crew, amazing job as always. And guys, don't forget to love yourselves, love each other, and don't change a thing, because you guys are amazing. You're why I'm here. And besides that, I will see the rest of you guys later on. I'll post it here relatively soon, and you guys will get to see it pop up on my community page as well. And then after that, that should do it. Everybody else, have a great rest of your day. If I don't see you tonight, have a great night. God bless. The rest of you, I will see you very, very soon. Much love. Bye-bye. Yeah, just hang on a minute, Arctic.
No problem.
Excuse me.
screen, typing at the speed of light, hunting down the shadows, bringing wrongs to right, digging deep in the data, facts sharp as a knife. With every single story, he's fighting for a life. A voice for the voiceless, he won't stay quiet. Dago's got the fire igniting the fight. True crime revelations shining through the night. With every victim story, he pulls at the strings. A hero in the darkness, hear the truth he brings. From the shadows he rises, streaming loud and clear, cracking cases open, hearts filled with fear. These channels are beacon in a world gone wrong. He guides us through the chaos, a soldier so strong. The flakes and the lights, they follow his lead. With every new case, he plants a new seed, sharing their stories, giving hope where it fades. Dago's a warrior through the trials he waits. In a world of silence, he shouts out their names. Dago's got the fire igniting the fight. True crime revelation shining through the night. With every victim story, he pulls at the strings. A hero in the darkness, hear the truth he brings. From the shadows he rises, streaming loud and clear. True crime revelation shining through the night. With every victim story, he pulls at the strings. A hero in the darkness, hear the truth he brings. From the shadows and lawless, he won't let us fall. Bringing the truth out, answering the call. For every soul forgotten, he's here to stand tall. Dago the genuine, will always give it his all. Dago's got the